Hello and welcome in. See, Sleazy is in here. How you doing, Sleazy? How's it going? How's it going? Going live just to BS around, trying to get the kids to settle down in the background while I do this. So, sorry if you hear the kids in the background. They're trying to get them to go to sleep. The link to the StreamYard should be pinned to the top of the comments. Anybody feels like coming up, talking, chatting, has something that they want to talk about, something they need to get off their mind, something they need to address, then by all means, please, please, please feel free to come on up. As soon as I see you come into the back room here, I will let you in as soon as I can verify that you are who you are. But anyway, I just wanted to do this stream tonight, kind of to just shenanigans BS, open forum. Anybody got a topic they want to come up and talk about? By all means, come up and let's talk, let's chat, let's have a discussion. I'm open to discuss anything for real. I know I got 3 people in here tonight so far. Only one in the comment section. I'll stay on here for a little bit and see if anybody wants to. Like I said, I'll sit here for a little bit and stay live. I don't really have anything in particular to talk about. I just basically wanted to come up and give other people a chance to come up as well and talk, introduce their channel. As well as make some new people in here that come in moderators so they can drop their link or their handle if they want to as well. So what I meant to do. Trying to get this set up here. Here, Sleazy. Here, I'm gonna make you a moderator real quick. Sleazy. That way you can drop your link if you want to there, bud. I just ran across you today in a live. Pretty cool people, pretty cool channel. So you can go ahead, drop your link if you want to. Feel free to come up if you want. If you don't want to come up to a panel, you don't have to. That's fine. Just kind of here to BS and see how many people we can get in this live and how many different channels maybe we can get growing. I'm waiting as well for a few people to go on live as well. Once the kids go to bed, I will probably have my phone on a live, have my camera on, and I'll show their live on my live and try to get people to go over there and sub to that channel if they're not already as well. A few people that I ran across tonight that are going to be live as well. We do have one now coming up. Here we go. Hello, how you doing?
Oh, well,
Hey.
Can you hear me? Let me turn this down real quick.
Fine. Can hear you just
All right,
fine.
there we go. So what's going on?
Not much.
Oh man, dude, that marshmallow is good, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very good.
I didn't know it was gonna hit that hard. I went out and last night.
Yeah.
I got
I
baked
had one
online.
too.
I had to get off the panel, dude. It
Speaking
was
of
that
which,
much. Yeah, I smoked a little bit earlier, but
I did too just a little bit earlier, a few hours ago. I'm getting ready to break up probably my last little bit for the night and
yeah.
give another smoke sesh here. I got
Actually,
some new channels. So
actually, you should change the name before you light up. I'll light up with you. Hold on, I got an idea. Maybe you should put chill open panel and said it's 420 or something about 420. We can like everybody wants to come and like at one time, you know.
why don't you share it out on your share this out
Oh
on your community
yeah,
page and
I could say come and join us.
smoke sesh. Say smoke
Smoke sesh.
sesh.
Let me see here. Link.
I told somebody used the term hotbox, and I said, if you're not going to hotbox on your channel, I'll hotbox on mine.
Yeah. Man, what's wrong with my
How we used to
computer?
hotbox the damn car, and damn, it's been a long time since I'd heard the term hotbox, but
I know, right? Hey,
but they used
another name
it, and
I
I was
heard
like,
is
you know what?
clam bake.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Been a while, but I don't
Clam
even know
bake.
if Slee is in here still or not, but that's somebody. He was in the comments when I first came on. He's somebody I ran across earlier today through somebody else's live that I was in, and
Uh-huh.
they're actually the ones that I think they're more East Coast, so they're like they do. I don't know what they do. They have an LLC. They run a business. They're freaking. They hustle late at night, I guess, because like they were going to meet with their first client of the day at like 8 p.m. their time, and they were talking
Yeah.
about they weren't going to get home. They weren't going to get home from their last client until like 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Wow. Hey,
So
do you have access to your computer too and your phone?
yeah, I'm on my computer. I'm on my computer.
All right, go to the community page. I put smoke cess. Get the thumbs up so it pushes it into the algorithm so people can see it if you don't mind. And then I can use
Yeah. Give me just a second. Give me just a second.
I don't know if these are charged or not,
Here.
but I could use my other Google.
I actually have my phone in my pocket, and I'm waiting on just to see these other people kind of go live. And once I do, I'll probably, like I was saying, pop their live up on my phone and turn my camera on and show their live and try to send my group over there. They'll probably be on one of their devices on my live and on theirs. So
Yeah.
it may end up being a pretty cool thing if I'm still on when they're on. When they go live, we may end up doing a kind of a combined live here. So
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
didn't think I was gonna be able to make it up tonight because I texted you or whatever. But
right,
so far so good. So I figured why not? And
right,
of course
right.
this isn't even charged. Man, oh, so I talked to Southwest Pred Catchers on the phone today. Um, I did put it on the community page that there will be a collab, and the other group. The reason why I know people ask, "Well, don't be stating something you can't finish because anonymous." Well, yeah, I can because it's my channel, it's me. But anyways,
Right.
uh,
Right. Yeah.
it's a surprise. It's gonna be a surprise for the people that see this or they're lurking. It's supposed to be that way, or it's also just in case they can't make it. So we will see.
We will see. And I don't know. When I went and scheduled this, I didn't see anybody that had a scheduled live going on. So I was like, well, that gives me the perfect
Yeah.
opportunity to do a later night live and not have to worry about it affecting
Oh, not to
anybody
interrupt, Casey.
else.
Look
Yeah.
what I got today. A gift from my brother. This massive power pack. And it literally
Nice.
holds a lot of juice. It's got your regular standard, your plug here. And then you got one over here. And then of course you got your USB and USB-C. And it
Right.
charges up to 12, was it I think he said 12 hours of constant charging to phones, e-cigarettes, devices, whatever. It's just so, yeah,
Oh
it's got
damn.
like a smooth, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. He just gave it to me. So I was like, okay,
Nice.
I'll take it.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
And of
Fuck
course, I
yeah.
showed you that lamp when you were here. I mean, that lamp makes it
Yeah.
look, see, pretty cool. Makes it a
Yeah, it
lot
makes it
better,
look a
that
lot
yellow.
better.
Yeah. So that my old yellow shade lamp here. I did. Oh, did you press like on the community page?
Yes, I did, and I
I,
left a comment.
all right, cool. I'm just waiting for my decoy phone to get going. Here is dead, so I had to plug it in. And I'll use my other Google account to hit a like over there to get it pushed out there. Oh wait, you started without me. You're supposed to
You're
wait.
right. No, I was just
Dude,
finishing my one little itty bitty hit that I had left.
yeah, I was expecting the marshmallow being the good price that we paid for it, and I figured, oh, I'll probably take 7 drags, last night. And then I forgot what panel it was. All I know is I was so baked I had to get off eventually. But yeah, I rolled a 1 grammer and I rolled it so tight. Look at that. It's like a rock. Whoops, sorry. It's like a rock. So
Oh shit.
all I need is like 3 or 4 drags, and it only burns down to maybe right there. And then I'll probably use most of the rest later tonight. But yeah, I rolled this one a little bit too tight, actually.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead
Man, I was
and.
hoping I'd see more than I was hoping I'd see more than 4 people off in here. And I was hoping
Oh,
that the 4 people that were off in here would at least be commenting.
that's okay. I mean, there's people lurking.
Which
There's a lot of
I know
people.
one of them's probably my wife over here lurking just to moderate a little bit. I told her not to do anything major tonight. The whole point of this, and maybe this should be spread out there somewhere. Like, I don't know, somebody with a big mouth like Ed, maybe. Tell him, message him, be like, "Hey, Casey has a stream. He wants people to come talk shit tonight." Like, come on,
Oh, there's
this
Steffi.
is a
What's up,
bullshit stream.
Steffi?
Let's get it.
There's
Oh,
a
Steffi's in
there's a
here.
few other people live. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, Steffi, too. Is I
There's
noticed there's a lot of people that were
there's
live. I wasn't
Steffi.
really thinking about it till recently. What is up,
Yeah,
Steffi?
I
Bill is live too.
like I
Oh
said.
wow, there's a lot of people
Oh
live.
Lord. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I was trying to make sure none of the major pred catchers were live with like a catch or
yeah,
nothing. Like,
yeah.
because that always kills. It doesn't matter who tries to go live. That always kills alive.
Yeah.
If one of them are
Hey,
live, especially since most of my subscribers, even though a few have fallen off, most of them are
mhm,
from the pred catching community. That
mhm.
that I've had a few that come over from other places that will be over probably later. That's why I don't care if it's dead air live. Kidding
Damn.
me?
Yeah. Sorry, it's
Which
just that
I've been talking
I
in other
rearranged a bunch of
communities,
shit.
and right, I've been talking in some other communities, and I'm like, I've only been actually doing this really for 2 months. I mean, on my
Hmm.
channel.
Yeah.
I've got 191 subs and 515 watch hours, and they're like, damn, for 2 months, that's really not bad. So it just depends on what community you're in, I guess. But some of them
Of
have dropped
course.
me like they're like, here, screenshot these names and go into these channels, and
No,
so
as you know, I have family here because you were here last night, so I'm going to mute it as I walk outside.
right,
I don't want to
right,
interrupt
yeah, no,
anybody.
not a problem. Yeah, no, not a problem at all. Yeah, I'm sure people will slowly trickle over later, especially if the word spreads that this is a trolling welcomed live. Because I mean, honestly, this is that is what this one is. I mean, I'm just bored sitting here having a little toke session here, and thank you for coming in, Steffi. Though, thank you. Go ahead and share that live out if you haven't, if you want to. Unlike some people, I know I can't hold a gun to your head and force you to do anything. So it's up to you if you share it out or not. But if you do, I appreciate it. Hoping that some of these other people that I've ran across the last few days will bounce over here and try to jump on too.
Dude, it's colder than shit out here, man, because of the wind, dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting in my room, even though I'm not supposed to be smoking. Yay! Thank you. Woohoo! Oh, who cares about Thaw or Bill?
I can't see
Thaw and
chats
Bill
right
are
now,
old
folks. Just so
news.
everybody knows, I can't
Mm-hmm.
see chats right now. I'm just out here to take a few puffs on my J.
I like Thaw, but Bill is old news, and Bill is just a troll. Hell, if Bill wanted to come over here, I would let Bill come over here and go come on my channel, even though I don't like him that much. Because that's why I pinned the link today.
Yeah. Man, it's too
That's why I
freaking
pinned the
cold
link,
here,
because I
dude.
want anybody up. It is.
I
It
can't
is.
I can't come out with a t-shirt and I'm not going out. Hold on.
Right. I mean, literally, I pinned the link to the StreamYards so that people could come up if they wanted to. Like, and I'm not one that pins links to my StreamYards because usually I'm very internet radio show based. So if it's not to do with the show, if it's not a guest of the show, they don't usually come up. This is an open panel. This is let's bullshit. Let's have fun. See what kind of shenanigans we can get going. Maybe get a shroom stream going. I don't know. Something. Hell.
Did you say shroom?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, I'm too old for that shit. Last time I did shrooms, I think I was like 16, man. 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there. I didn't really
Hey,
like shrooms
man.
that
You know
much.
what? Hey, you know
I
what?
like the acid,
Colorado,
kinda.
beyond popular belief, Colorado just passed Proposition 122, which actually legalized psychedelic
It's hard,
mushrooms to
yeah,
be
it's already been
giving
legalized.
in a
Yeah.
well, I know it's been legal in Oregon, but they just legalized it in Colorado.
No. It's you
And
mean the
they're
entire state? So in just Denver, instead of just Denver, it's the whole
well, yeah,
state.
no, it's the whole state just passed the proposition. Yeah, so it's statewide now. Um,
Hold on, real
and what
quick.
they're
I
gonna
think
do,
they're passing that in Albuquerque. Just so you, before I forget this, because I forget real fast. Did you hear about that?
I did, I actually did. And here's the
Okay.
thing. This is what I was going into too. I mean, hell, maybe this will get some fucking people in here. They hear that we're talking about shrooms. But my thought on it was like the way they're setting it up. I actually read the proposition as it was read on the ballot.
Yeah.
And like people go, well, that means a doctor's going to be in control of my shrooms, and fuck that. I don't want that. Just like we don't want a doctor in control of our fucking marijuana, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't want a doctor to physically have to prescribe it and it be in his hands or a pharmacy company's hands, right? That's why we have dispensaries, because
So we
deep
have
down those
recreational
dispensaries,
here.
yeah, exactly. Those dispensaries are ran by people who have grown pot for 10 or 20 years illegally and gotten away with it, and they know what the hell they're doing. They're potheads.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no way around it. They know pot inside and out, and not a doctor does not. So
Yeah.
people are like, well, fuck that. That means a doctor's going to be in control of the shrooms. And no, actually, what they're going to do is set up what they call healing centers for people who
Oh.
study shrooms, where people who study shrooms and actually know the medical effects of shrooms and how to use them will be
Hmm.
there, and they will be the ones to give them to you in a therapeutic setting so that they can make sure you don't overdose, you don't get too much. Like they're going to know this body type and this weight needs 2 grams of mushrooms to get the medical effect they need. And you go there and you have your fucking self a trip and you fucking go home. Like, by the way I read it, it's not necessarily going to be doctors who went to school for 8 years and studied medicine that are going to be in control of this. They're basically going to be
Yeah.
the mushroom version of a dispensary. Only difference is
Hmm.
you go in, you don't need to go into a marijuana shop, buy marijuana and use it there because there's no
Yeah.
dangers of using it outside of there. If you're using psychedelic mushrooms for medical benefits,
Hmm.
you need to know exactly how much you need to use, and you need to be watched and monitored
Yeah.
to be sure that you don't have any ill effects from that.
Yeah. Hey,
Like, we
Cassandra.
don't
Hi,
want you going out in the
Steffi. Yep.
shrooms. We don't want
Hmm.
you going out in the street doing mushrooms and fucking tripping and slitting somebody's throat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have
Yeah.
yourself a trip. It's going to be a nice trip. It's in a controlled environment so that nothing ill advised will happen from it. I actually
Yeah.
think it's neat because when you look into it, psychedelic mushrooms have benefits against some medical disorders, some mental
Hmm.
disorders,
Yep.
PTSD.
And
War
and
vets,
physical too.
yep, war
There's
vets are
that.
using psychedelic mushrooms more and more to overcome their PTSD bout. So,
Oh yeah.
um, so I actually have a. He was a pretty high ranking, if I'm correct, official within within his whatever of the military. I think he was in the army. Like, he was like a sergeant or a lieutenant. Like, he actually led troops 2 or 3 times overseas in like Iraq.
Oh
And
wow.
I think that he was saying that he's actually used psychedelic mushrooms to help him
Hmm.
battle his PTSD, and it actually helps.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
he'll
Just
use them, he'll have a trip, and then he's done with it. Like,
yeah. So I get a chance to talk here because that's what happened. The other stream I was on. This person would not stop for like 20 minutes, but I'm just kidding. No, I would not do psychedelics unless ever again because I did when I was young. You know what I mean? I'm too old for all this stuff now, but I would only do psychedelics if I had a medical condition. They said, "Hey, this could cure you, or this could at least help you," or you know what I mean. That's the only way I would do it
right,
again.
right,
But
yeah, yeah. I don't want to go out and fucking flip cow patties and clean off mushrooms and eat them and have a fucking trip out in the middle of a fucking like, yeah, no, not at all.
yeah,
Like, but if a doctor
exactly.
said, hey, this could help you with your bipolar and with your anxiety, why don't you go here to this healing clinic for 3 days and have yourself a 3 day
Hmm.
trip and see how that does? Then yeah, I
Hmm.
might be willing to give it a try.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you hear stuff like from sorry, I wiped my mouth off. I just ate a little while ago. When you hear stuff like from Joe Rogan, like his DMT experiences,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
stuff like that. Well, I've heard both sides. It can be very scary. It can be very good. It can be amazing. You could actually get healed by, like we were talking about, mentally, or some cases maybe physically. I don't know, but
right,
you have to be prepared for it because when you go on that trip, there's nothing you can do to come down from it that I'm aware of, except for like for instance, I was given Xanax, I believe, when I was a teenager, only because I took too much acid. It's what it is. What it is,
right,
and that's the only thing that really did anything. It calmed me down, of course. It made the bad trip, chill out. But there's really,
right,
unless they've come up with something different, since then. And I'm talking, this is the late '80s, early '90s, somewhere around there. Uh, I don't know. I know that they came out with the Narcan for the people that abuse opioids or heroin or whatever
right,
they could use. I mean, we have a few around here because every time you get an opioid prescription, I guess nowadays they give you Narcan. You know,
oh yeah,
well, um, well, there's been many a times throughout the years that we would go to the dentist or somebody get their tooth pulled or wisdom tooth pulled, and then they prescribe them whatever 10 oxycodones or hydrocodone, whatever they're called. And of course,
right,
there's a Narcan. Well, now I don't know how many I have, but I probably got like 5. They're probably all expired. We never had to use them, but it's nice to have them, and it's also handy if you're driving down the street and with the heroin, the opioid problem that we do have, especially here in Albuquerque, to have that available in case somebody's overdosing,
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. I wish Narcan was more readily available. Um, See, when I moved here, I moved from Oklahoma, and that was in Oklahoma. That was one of the hardest things to get a hold of was Narcan. Like they were starting to
Yeah.
make it easier, but you still had to have like a prescription for it. Like your doctor had to say, okay, they're allergic to shrimp. They could run into shrimp
Hmm.
oil sometime at a restaurant,
Yeah.
so they need Narcan. Like
Yeah.
it was that type of thing. Like I couldn't just go and say, hey, I'm afraid that maybe one of my friends might overdose.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I wish I wish you could go and just pick Narcan up like
You
at the
can.
Walmart pharmacy over the counter,
You can.
but you can't
Yes, you
everywhere.
can. It's done the way they did codeine up until I want to say the mid '80s. I could be off a few years, but anyways, I remember my uncle would go get the codeine mixture, and I forgot the mixture. Somebody mentioned it in one of the chats. I brought this up before. They knew exactly what it was, but it was some kind of mixture they mixed with the codeine, not the Tylenol, but some other mixture. So if you took more than the maximum dosage, you would get sick. Like it would make you throw
Right.
up and make you. Well, my uncle, God rest his soul, he's the one that passed away recently that owned the family business. So I'll leave it at that. You know who I'm talking about,
Yeah.
my uncle. And but he figured out how to separate the codeine from that substance. He would put it in the freezer. So once it got to a certain point, he would just take a spoon and take all that extra junk out, and he'd have pure codeine, which is basically like opium.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
because because my dad told you the story, and he's this my uncle's deceased now, but he had an accident when he was young with the 9 millimeter. He was being stupid, you know,
Yeah.
and he was drinking and driving and shot himself in the leg. He didn't want to go to the doctor, so that's why he did that, because he was in a lot of pain and he didn't want to go to the doctor. So the bullet went right through him. Thankfully, it didn't hit
Right.
hardly anything important. It's a miracle, but yeah, that was how he discovered that. But shortly thereafter, they banned the sale of codeine without a doctor's prescription, and then shortly after that, they banned the sale of lorazepam because they found out it was a benzo
Right.
that has addictive properties to it. And I heard recently gabapentin is now considered a controlled substance, but you would think they
Yeah.
would know
Yeah. It
that,
is.
when they make it.
It actually is. I think because I think my mom was prescribed gabapentin not too long ago, and
Yeah,
they had given her like extra instructions with it because it was now classified as a controlled substance or whatever.
yeah, it made me really, really tired. I had like 700 pills. I just never used it that much because at the time I was trying to think of options, and it's when I went to the pain clinic. This is back in 2018, I think, ish. It's always ish. I don't remember every detail, but anyways,
Right.
I got off the oxys and the hydros and eventually the Xanaxes and whatnot, which is great. But what they did do is they replaced it with something else, which is obviously, I'm not gonna get all the details. You know all the details, most of them, but they had me on Dilaudid and morphine, and just to start with there at the pain clinic, and I was like, well, wait a minute, I came
Mm-hmm.
here to get some actual help, like physical
Right.
therapy, get me off some of these meds, but still manage the pain, if you will. But it was kind of cool. And that doctor quit after my first appointment because of the new law that was passed, not giving pain clinics the right to give more. That was the whole reason of pain clinics, is so people that needed more than doctors can prescribe, they go to a pain clinic, or a certain schedule, or certain medications a regular doctor can't prescribe, they could. So,
Right.
of course,
Yeah.
I was
Well.
worried they were going to
Yeah.
start me with a fentanyl patch. They didn't. They started me with 5 2 milligram Dilaudidins a day and two 30 milligram morphine extended release, MS Cotton. A long story short,
Yep.
as you know, I got off almost everything except for just the basic
Right.
heartburn pill, blood pressure, a few others. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and see, in Oklahoma, unfortunately, those pain clinics and pain management clinics and things like that, a lot of them, at least in your bigger communities like Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and the surrounding areas, hell, even in Shawnee, which was a community I
Mm-hmm.
lived in for a little bit,
I've
just
been there
like
many times.
half an
Yeah.
hour to 45 minutes to the
Mm-hmm.
east of Oklahoma City. Like, there were pain management clinics there that they weren't necessarily clinics in the way as they had a lot of doctors. Like, they had 2 or 3 doctors maybe in this clinic.
Yeah.
Well, these clinics in the bigger cities became pill farms. So
Oh.
so instead of going and getting a 30-day script of gabapentin or Dilaudid or Oxycontin or oxycodone or Loratabs or Percocets or Xanax or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
would walk in there and like usually it's your doctor is the only one who prescribed that. Well, they
Yeah.
would walk in to see their doctor and their doctor wasn't there, and their receptionist would be like, but such and such doctor is here. Give me just a minute. And they'd go back and talk to that doctor and come out with a 4-month prescription
Wow.
of this pill and then and a new appointment with their regular doctor.
Yeah.
And so the DEA and OBN, Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics, started working together and going through and busting all these pill farms.
Yeah.
So then
Yep.
they started outlawing these what most states consider pain management clinics, where there's 5, 6, 7, 8 different
Yeah.
doctors that have
Hey,
different things that they can
before I
prescribe
forget this,
for.
yeah, before I forget this, this is okay. There's a thing on Netflix called Hillbilly Heroin, or the Oxy.
Yep.
Or, I'm sorry, the Oxy Express. It's a plane, but
Yep.
anyways, continue. Just remind me of that. That fits
Yeah.
in with what you're saying about
But
the pill mills in
but
Florida,
so like
Texas, and
so
whatnot.
now like a lot of those pain management clinics per se, like what other states would consider a pain management clinic, don't necessarily exist. In Oklahoma, if you go to
Yeah.
a pain management clinic, you're going to one doctor, or maybe there might be 2 doctors in that clinic, but there's not 4, 5, 6 in this clinic. Like, it's
Yeah.
1 or 2 people and that's it. That way there's no way you can maybe possibly see another doctor and they're going to write you a script. And like, it's very,
Hmm.
in Oklahoma, they've got it very, very, very under the scope now. Like, it's hard to
Yeah.
get more than a 30, which in a way I agree with, but it's harder to get more than a 30-day script. And
Hmm.
sometimes the doctors are so busy, they're seeing so many pain patients that you may not have an appointment for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months,
Yeah.
5 months.
Hmm.
So you might have 2 appointments a year, but you might only
See
get
that,
three
and they can't.
refills.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they can't do it. They can't do that anymore. Well, let me say this: the last thing that I did, my last few months with the pain clinic before I said I'm out of here. Basically, that's why I said I'm out of here. Not that
right,
they were rude to
right,
me. In fact, they were good to me. It's just I want to go back to my doctor, let him know, because on a more of a personal basis, he's been my doctor since we moved here in '96. So on and
right.
off. So, and of course, on more than off. We just moved away for those few years. Blah 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 blah. So I went there. I said, look, here's where we're at. Here's what they're giving me. And I already knew that my family doctor could not prescribe more than one opioid or opiate at a time, and he
Yeah,
cannot put refills anymore. Now, at the pain clinic at that time, this is just a few years ago, almost 3, but at that time, the pain clinic could give me 2 months worth. And how that worked was they would give me the actual printed whatever copies. So I would turn in one. I technically I was allowed to turn them both in at the same time, but what they did is they would give me two prescriptions. So one was for say if it was for November. So there
right.
would be two. 2 scripts at that time. Hey, John B, how you doing, buddy? And then there'd be 2 scripts for the others, what have you. So it'd be one for 1 month and one for the next month. They were allowed to do that, and they could go above and beyond a little bit what regular doctors could do. And they did
Right.
get me in that physical therapy, which I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. But I don't know. I feel like I was just kind of hitting a brick wall with it, so I stopped after about 2, maybe 3 years. Not too long ago, to be honest with
Right.
you. Right before you got here, probably is when
Right.
I kind of stopped because the whole COVID thing ruined everything too. So, but
Right.
yeah,
But
I'm
like,
happy now
yeah.
that I'm on such hardly anything. You know.
Right. Oklahoma would do that too. Like, I mean, I know somebody that was in pain management. Like, they would do 2 prescriptions, but they would do like they would give you a prescription, and then they'd give you another prescription, and then you'd have like 1 or
Hmm.
2 refills, and you still might go
Yeah.
6 months without seeing the doctor. So then you got to figure
Jeez.
out how you're getting your bills for your
Hmm.
next pills. So then they were arresting people for buying these pills from underground dealers on the street
Yeah.
because,
I saw a
well,
lot
I
of
ran out of my
documentaries and movies
prescription a
about
month
that.
ago. Yeah,
Hmm.
I ran out of my medication a week ago. I can't get it for 2 months. I'm in so much pain. I can't even live. I can't even survive. I can't go to work. I can't pay my bills, whatever. I had to do
Yeah.
what I had to do. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. That's still a felony, and you're going to jail for it.
Yeah.
Like something needs so that's where I think eventually in Oklahoma the medical marijuana thing became such a big thing and finally passed
Yeah.
because
I
they
think
started
so
to learn
too.
that medical marijuana helps get off opioids,
Yeah.
and it helps with some
Absolutely.
of the same conditions as well. So instead of having to
Hmm.
prescribe Oxycontin, you can say, here's a medical marijuana card. Go to a dispensary and pick up up to 3 ounces. Like,
Yeah.
that
There
is
you
what
go.
you can have. Like, and as long as you pick up in between that amount, and you don't have any more than what on the back of that card, which I've shown you. As long as you don't have more than that on your person or more than that in your household, you're
Hmm.
golden.
Yep. Awesome.
You can never
Sorry,
get in trouble
I'm.
for it.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm just doing a little multitask, and
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted to show you real quick something. You'll be happy that a lot of people. In fact, I guess we'll just say it here tonight. Shoot,
Hey, it's Donnie Two
Donnie
Bottles.
two. Oh yeah, Donnie 2 bottles. Yeah. So check this out,
Hey,
Casey.
Donnie
Turn
with two
this
hands.
off.
What's up?
All right.
How
So
you doing?
one, yours, the one that you got. Two, three, and there is one more. So now we got all decoy phones. All of them now are accounted
Wow.
for.
All of them.
It was,
Nice.
and so
Hey.
now the only thing we have left to do is I know you sent Ryan the proof of the text messages during the night that people thought we faked the text. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
stupid some people can be. My God. So now, if you send him the proof that that didn't happen, that it was a real deal, now we can send him the
Mhm.
rest of the or I'm sorry,
Right.
that one would go to
Yeah.
okay, that city.
Yeah.
But the first catch, he said that said because he's got stuff too, so we'll send the rest of that, that one over if he wants it. I think he wanted it, and then we'll send him the first catch stuff. Then he's going to send it back in a nicely done folder, so I can finally turn that one in. So just so everybody knows who's watching or watching this later, only 2 are not under investigation that we know of at the moment because of that. So shit happens.
And and
But it's
and
all
now
good.
and now
It's
you've
all
got all the
good.
decoy phones, and you know the code to mine, so you can get in and get what you need off mine. You don't need.
Yeah. Oh, and then Southwest Predcatcher didn't even know we were here. They knew and heard of EYLP, which is so cool because he also used to work in Santa Fe at I think the sheriff's office there. He did some dispatch. He worked for a police department, so we both have a lot in common. Our history. We worked at some of the same places, and it's going to be great. So he's very professional, very very professional. So I'll be introducing him either on the we'll talk about that in private. We're gonna, maybe surprise thing where we might do, or as you know, or we may have a couple catches coming up in a day or two. So we don't know yet, but That's what we're looking. Sunday, Monday, I believe, is what we're looking at. So
Cool.
that will be the collab, and there may be. And then people will say, "Why can't you put the other name?" Because I don't. They ask me not to. If they want to be a surprise, they want to be a surprise. I'm going to respect that. And another reason is
Right.
there's a possibility they may not make it here in time to collab with us on this catch or two or whatever.
Right.
So that's why I just put in one other. This actually might be another one, a group, but that'll be good. It'll be his first, live catch. He's already been decoying. Uh, and so I imagine we'll
Yeah,
probably
and
go
that
live on both channels. Oh, go
I know I
ahead.
don't have very many people in here right now, but I want to go ahead.
Oh,
That was something else I wanted to do. I went in and actually subbed to him earlier, day or two ago, when I had heard about him coming around. Went in, listened to his decoy call a few times, and subbed to him. Dude, if you're watching this now, or you go back and watch this later, go check him out. Southwest Pred Catchers. Let's get him to 50 subs so that he
oh,
can
he's already
go
past
live.
that. But
Is he?
yeah,
Okay.
well,
Because
I
when
put
I
it.
went, he was only at like 22 or 23 or something like that. So
I'm gonna answer your question. Yeah. So what happened is once I talked to him on the phone today, we talked on Instagram. Well, we met in chat. I thought it was just I just thought it was another troll, another troll name. And I realized, wait a minute, this guy's actually really, he knows his shit, So I said, hey, hit me up on Instagram, or he hit me up. I forgot which one hit each other at first. Found out, we talked, discussed, whatever, and then we exchanged phone numbers. We finally talked to the phone today for a good, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes, long time, talking about different laws and who he knows, which I'll let him talk about that, but he has connections we don't have in another city or two. So you add that with the ones we have in this county, we're golden. So yeah, I'll let him talk about all that. But so yeah, he was at 37 subs or 33, and I went ahead and after we got the phone, I said we talked about the collab, on a couple of these catches coming up and everything. So I just put it on my community page because he's always got it up now as a little that decoy call.
right.
So last I checked, he was close to 100 now. Let me double check again.
Well, let's keep getting subs because
71. I'm sorry.
player. He's going to
I'll
become a big
refresh.
player in this area for pred catching, I believe. So
he's at 71. Okay, I thought he was a little higher than 71, but he's at 71, which is good because he gained.
Awesome.
I don't know, 30, 40, give or take. Just I believe
yeah, he's
today.
gained about
That's
50.
Good.
He's gained about 50 since I subbed to him, so that's awesome.
Yeah, he did try to go live tonight, and it said he and this channel is new. He hasn't done anything except that one video. It just wouldn't allow him. And I said, use StreamYards, but we're going to talk about that in person. But I think he should have no problem going live. He knows he has to wait the 24-hour, blah, blah, blah. But now he's at 71, right. So he should have no problem going live, awesome. So that'll be interesting. And it's going to help out a lot because, my situation right now, I'm basically trapped, so
right.
Can't do a whole lot. It sucks. So
yeah,
Gary, his schedule's been, I haven't heard from Gary in a while. So this was kind of a godsend to me and to him as well. He appreciates, figuring out that I'm here, and I'm appreciating the fact that he's here and we can work together, and that's what we decided. In fact, we'll talk about, I don't want to give it too much information. We talked about a lot of stuff. Just put it that way. We may become one team. Gotcha. I don't know if they can hear me or not, but put a 1 if you can hear me. Oh, I thought he muted his mic. But yeah, there may be. We'll talk about. There's a possibility that we may become one team. as opposed to two separate entities, because we're going to be collabing a lot. Obviously, we're going to be working together. So I don't know. We have that's what we're going to talk about everything for those who are watching or may watch this later and so on and so forth. I'll be talking about it on my channel as well. But anyways, I don't like going live in my channel unless it's updates or like this. Obviously, but I'm going to wait for the. There's actually a couple things we're going to be doing that'll be more of a surprise. And until we get confirmations, I don't want to post the upcoming yet. Because I don't want to do it and then nobody show up or only one shows up or whatever. It's going to be a pretty big deal next time, hopefully. But I'm so happy that we finally got all of our decoy phones. It's a long story as why we misplaced a few of them. It has nothing to do with being reckless or anything like that. It was just personal family situations where we had to hurry up and do something. And one of them was a catch. I think we misplaced that one decoy phone on not the last catch, but the catch before that one. Is when I broke my glasses completely. So that was what was his name? Anthony or something? The long-haired guy. I think his name was Anthony. I get confused on their names. I used to always wonder why Jay, like PP Mass or Alex, or whoever, in the chats. I mean, I asked a couple times back in the day. I was like, "Oh, what was the name of catch number 23?" And he's like, "I don't remember their names. I don't remember any of their names hardly." I'm like, now I get it.
Right.
And we only got 6 catches, but still, I don't remember. I have to think sometimes. It's like, wait a minute. The first catch, I literally did not remember his name at all. I had to go find the catch, and finally, I was able to find it was Connor. So I was like, okay, it's Connor. And then the second one, I've already Darian. I remember that one. And then, of course, the first arrest on spot was Brandon, I think.
Yep, Brandon.
Okay. And then the he, she, was Elena. We don't know if that's the real name or not, but that's what we're going with. Let's see here. I'm doing good now. I was talking to Southwest Pred catchers. We were talking about different catches. That's probably why I have it more fresh in my memory. That night, in the middle of the night, I should say, we got the long-haired dude, which would have been Anthony. Yep. And then the last one that ran so fast
at Walmart.
If people were there, they would be talking shit. That dude was literally a track. I don't know if he's a star, but I heard he was. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he was fast. I don't remember. Chris.
By the way, By the way, I still remember his name. That one has stuck with me for some reason. Mm-hmm. I've actually got some connections that I've gained through some things that I've been doing, and they're trying. Like, I've taken the picture that we could get of him, and they've seen what they could of him, and they are trying to, like, the picture that we had that he sent us, that even Ed had. I'm taking that and giving that to people, and they're running it against colleges, not just in the area, but in the region, to see if this guy is on a football team, basketball team, baseball team, track team.
Is what I've been. I don't know if I heard that.
Yeah.
Did we hear that from a detective, or did we hear that through the grapevine in town? I don't remember who told us that.
I'm not quite sure, but
I did post him on Twitter. I believe I posted him on Twitter. I said, if anybody recognize, this is, please contact blah, 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 blah. I put that on Twitter. Maybe that's where I'm remembering. And also, somebody was hell-bent on trying to get our attention to tell us the number 3 catch, the rest on spot catch, whatever his name was, Brandon, I think. Or was it Brandon? Yeah.
Yep.
They said Kirtland Air Force Base. And I could see where they got the idea from, but that, to the best of our knowledge, that's not true. So everybody knows. I mean, the body cam footage is available too from PNN. They can watch that.
From what they told me is he was a gypsy, and it looked like he bounced around several different states, and they were hoping they had enough on paper on him to scare him to get him away from here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to rest my shoulder. Oh my
But I
gosh.
think he's last I checked, he was still in jail. So I don't know if he still is, but
I would imagine so. I wish we could find out more. I mean, we can, but I just don't want to bother, who, too much.
right, yeah,
And
yep,
but oh well, Brian can look him up. He's got all the tools. He's got the programs that you whatever it is you purchase or
right,
something. I don't know. There's Megan's law, of course.
yeah, he
There's
can,
this. There's that. So he's able to look up everything. And I got his entire full name. We do, I should say. So um, yeah. And then of course when the detective called us about him last time to add that charge or the charges from our investigation, from our chat
right,
logs.
yep,
Because at first they only booked him on what they got him that night. They didn't book him on our evidence that night.
right,
And then
right,
finally we got the call back. Was it a month later or whatever it was? 2 weeks later, and that's when he finally they said they might only be able to add just one, which is the misdemeanor. Unfortunately, the misdemeanor, which would be probably, I don't know, a fine or a day, and I don't know what they're going to give him. They'll add it to his felonies that he already has, you know. So it's not
right.
going to make the biggest difference, but I'm hoping that they'll add other charges because of his sexual graphic chat logs, sexually graphic
Oh yeah,
chat logs.
I'm
I don't
hoping
know.
they
We'll
do,
see.
and we shall see. I guess. Um, with how
Yeah,
long they've had him in jail, it seems like they might be looking to try to do something. So,
yeah, yeah.
damn,
That is kind of freaky, though.
damn it.
Think about it, man. Because when you guys were living in all the way down that other part of Albuquerque near the mountain, you were pretty confident that that person may have been living in that complex or whatever. And when you got
Yeah,
home, you
yeah,
saw
that's
somebody book it out of there.
yeah, and that's why and that's what made me even say even more. I was like, he just seems like he's the type of guy that would hang out down there. And then
Mm-hmm.
we got done with everything we had to get done with. And by the time we got back down the hill from
Mm-hmm.
my ride coming to pick me up, got down back down the hill, walking in the building. This guy's carrying like he's not just carrying his suitcase; he's carrying like 3 or 4 bags and trying to haul them
Mm-hmm.
fast to the hell of elevator and get the hell out of there at like 2 o'clock in the morning our time.
Yeah.
So,
And of course,
like
remember
what the
when he
hell are you doing trying to leave that late, that quick
well
with
remember
5 bags?
yeah, remember earlier that day we were hold on, John, I answer your question. This is the one we caught. No, this was in the west side. However, the part we're talking about was afterwards, which would have been on the east side of Albuquerque. But before I forget what I was going to say here is remember we were in this Dollar Tree lot and he pulled up literally next to my brother.
Yes.
Literally. And that's how he got the
Yep.
license plate, the card. And of course, he had to loan his car to his roommate for work that night. And that's
That
why he
was his.
Ubered.
That was yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah.
that,
He told the decoy that he was taking his friend to work or his roommate to
yeah,
work was
yeah.
what he said. But then later, when we actually got him, he actually said he had to Uber up there.
Well, that's what we had to
But then,
do was to have
yeah,
Uber.
yeah, that's yeah, because he said he didn't have the car. But I still honestly, I don't believe that he Ubered. I don't. I think that his roommate didn't go to work. I think his roommate
I
took
think
him
you're
up there
right.
because when we were chasing him and they had him, like when they had him over
Yeah.
there and they were still chasing him over that gate, we
The
saw that other
cops.
car come zipping kind of by.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
cops were still chasing him. We saw that other car kind of come roll by kind of slow and then take off.
That's
Like
right.
I'm pretty sure that was his roommate or his he told his Uber stick around because I don't feel good about this. And so his Uber driver for a little extra money stuck around the area and he called him while he was hiding, hey, come pick me up. But
Probably,
that was either
yeah.
his Uber driver or his roommate. But I have a feeling that was his roommate. And then again, we saw his roommate, I think,
Yeah.
at our complex, even like
Yeah. Um, another thing too is what I'd like to find out more what happened the night that we don't know what happened. The people, oh, you guys faked the cuts because you didn't put your camera up. They didn't know we were surrounded by people that were
Right.
literally
Right. Yeah.
harassing the shit out of us. Because then, of course, then we found out they were buddies apparently. So, but
Yep.
yeah, I kind of wonder if, our officer friend who watches our lives and was there that night behind the store, watching, listening, etc. It kind of makes you wonder, and I still would like to find out if I can, if when we had to call it, if he went, remember we went back to tell him we were done for that night and to thank him, he was gone.
Yep.
So maybe
Yep.
I'm still wondering to this day if he called back up and they went and pulled him those different vehicles over. And I just want to know something.
Or even went and followed them and got the license plate and got named.
Yeah,
Like, because
sure.
I'm almost sure because of the way it played out. I'm almost sure they went and did something. Now I'm not.
That's what
I
I'm
can't say for
thinking. But
sure that they went and chased them down, but I mean it
exactly.
makes you feel like damn they went and did something because they didn't just leave us hanging there because they
Yeah,
done
unless he
said
had
they were
another
going to be
call.
watching. They weren't. Yeah, but they
Yeah,
and that would have had to be a damn important call because he's like, dude, I'm going to be. He said what he said to us, and then
yeah.
we go to let him know we're shutting it down, and he's already gone. Like,
What sucks is even though our mutual friend, the captain, is literally,
yeah,
friends with our family. He's literally family to us. He's even limited what he could tell us. So it's not like I could
right,
just, oh, by
right.
the way, hey, Captain, can you tell me what happened that night? It's not necessarily that easy because they have people above
Well,
them.
right, right, and that when that happens, that most likely means there's some type of ongoing investigation, so they don't want to say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That is correct.
So yeah, right. So damn, where's everybody at tonight? Usually we got a bunch of late nighters trying to stay up and bullshit and pull shenanigans and
Yeah, it is Friday, but I think Steffi said Bill was live, and then I think I saw it. I don't really watch this channel much anymore, but I saw that Webb was going to. I don't know if he's
yeah,
doing like loops, playing old catches or something of that nature. So there's that.
hmm,
Um, I don't know if Locke went live. I don't know if I don't think Sam Hill went live. I don't
um
know.
damn, I
Uh,
was I was actually looking. That was one of the ones I was mainly looking for was locked to see if he was live. Because if he was live, hell,
yeah,
I usually will just go over and jump in his and bullshit
yeah.
because
I haven't been over there in a
they talk
while.
they talk shenanigans and lately
Yeah,
it's
I'm
been
just
fun.
honestly, it's I'm at an age. I am just. I feel like to me, and no offense, it's just for me. Um, I don't need, and with the health problems, I don't need any more stress.
Right, right, yeah,
I'm dealing with a lot, and it's nobody's freaking business, and I can keep it that way. I don't have to prove shit to nobody. But that's what
right,
people don't understand. All they hear or see is the screen or their phone, and us just happen to go live on a platform, and some people think their own narrative. Whatever they want to, they don't understand. We have real lives. I've got a family
right,
member now,
yeah,
two that are extremely ill. It's terrible.
right,
There's things that happen in life. It's
yeah,
called life. I
yeah.
don't
It
know. I
is.
can go on
It's
and on. I can rant all the
life
time. It's just
happens.
you just laugh at it. It's so stupid. It's like I don't know. It is what it is.
Right,
I honestly didn't
exactly.
really see it being just a
Hey, Apple Snapple's here. Haha.
Apple Snapple. What is up? I don't think I
Hey,
know Apple Snapple.
he's no. This is somebody I ran into in a live earlier, and
Oh, okay.
they're good people. They're good
Cool, cool,
people.
cool.
They seem to have.
Oh, that's what that means. I thought it was a peace sign. It means good vibes.
I'm giving you the wrench Apple Snapple, so you can go ahead and Drop
Yeah, drop your link if you could, so I
drop
can
your
go check
link,
your channel out.
your handle, whatever you go by. If you use your handle more, then drop your link, your handle, so people can
Oh,
go and check you out now or later. And
speaking of handle, did you get yours?
yes, I got my handle.
Oh, cool. Um,
Yep.
Wait a minute. Mine shows up. It started showing up, I believe, today at some point, where it shows, of course, the name, and right below it, instead of just showing your subs, it shows the new handle at
Yep.
whatever
Mine
your
started
handle.
doing that about 3 or 4 days ago. I noticed mine started doing that. So that's
Oh,
when I
okay.
started dropping my handle more than just my here's my link from my about page or whatever. Because
Yeah.
you
Well,
drop that
well,
handle and
first,
that catches their
yeah.
attention.
Let me make sure I got this right. Maybe you know, maybe I don't. I don't know. But I do remember when I first got the email about the new handle and blah, blah, blah. It said your old link will still work and continue to work.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah. It will.
here. Hold on. But now I'm hearing that no, as of 2023, at some point, it's the handle only. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah. They were. It's going to work probably until like mid. I would probably say mid 2023, and then
Yeah.
they're hoping that they have handles rolled out across all channels, and that everybody is using those handles. So then they can just drop that link, and
Yeah.
you'll only have your handle, and that will be it. There won't be like a unique link. Your unique link will be youtube.com/at whatever your handle
Well,
is.
it's actually forward slash, but yeah. Yep, forward
Yeah,
slash at and
yeah,
then your handle. Yeah.
yeah. But and seeing my
But
handle
also
is just
before I forget this, I wanted to say this. Also, another thing I found out too is also to help stop the BS that we got accused of and we didn't even do. But anywho, the BS of the whole banana community, whatever they want to call it, where people literally drop their link like every 5 seconds or and everybody's modded, everybody's just dropping links. Well, they're
right,
trying to combat that, which is good because you're not getting your subs organically that way. And me and you fiddled around in those rooms for a little while, but didn't know until I think it was a locksmith stream where
right,
we, you know, we just thought, oh, people are liking our channels or subbing to us, and I'm enjoying some of their channel. And thankfully we
and
learned real quick. But I did
you
make some actual, as you know, there's actual friends that I made in that community that go beyond.
right,
Like some of the outdoorsmen from Texas or the fishing, just
right.
some really cool channels, and some in other countries too. They're actually good people.
Yep. I was gonna say there were a lot of the channels that I ran into through a certain one. I won't mention. I think I unsubscribed from her just
Yeah, I
because
think I know what you're talking
I didn't
about.
want any
Yeah.
of the drama
Yep.
involved with it at all. So I went immediately and I unsubscribed from her, and I immediately unsubscribed from anybody that I had ran into through her channels.
Well, here's how you
So that
know.
I wasn't involved with any of that at
Yeah,
all.
same here.
Um,
I'm trying to help
but
you real quick.
then,
Remind me
well,
of
that's what I
Google.
was getting.
Okay.
Google what?
Yeah, you can go to Google and you can that's how you unblock anybody you've blocked on YouTube. It also tells you what are what we call sock accounts. Everybody has different names for them, and you can delete those. And that's what I did. And I didn't have a lot, thank God. And I hope I
Right,
didn't delete anybody that generally was a supporter. That just because obviously that's what I used was just I had nothing on it wasn't even
right,
really a channel. I just used it so I could like and comment, subscribe, blah blah. That's all I used,
right.
my YouTube thingy for until I started putting up some videos. So I
Yep.
hope I didn't
Well, and like I was,
accidentally unsubscribe a sincere person, that
well,
genuinely is just a viewer.
well, and and when I went through anybody that I knew for a fact that I had subscribed to only because I saw them in that one channel,
Mm-hmm.
any of those channels that now like I'm in some of the farming community channels, some of the
Yeah,
homesteading
me too.
channels,
Oh yeah,
some of the some of the RC car channels,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
some
Yep.
different some different channels now that I'm involved with, and I see some of those channels coming back, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
just hey, come sub, like they're sitting there and they're having conversation and they're talking, and
Exactly.
the person that is on the live is sitting here going, hey, I know that person, they've been subbed to me for 8 months and they talk to me and da 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 da
Mm-hmm.
da, and they give me I'll go back and I'll resub to them because I'm like, okay, that's a legit. They're not the
Yes,
banana freaking,
exactly. The
So I
banana
have
thing.
started to take some, like I
Yep.
now you'll go and you'll look at the channels I'm sub to, and there are some Filipino channels in there because some of those
Mm-hmm.
are legitimate channels, and they're like, here,
Channel.
like they've dropped some sports channels
Yes,
to me. They're
exactly.
like, here, screenshot what I've typed just now, screenshot it, and it'll be a list
Well,
of
hold
like
on, real.
4 or 5
Yeah.
channels that have to do with sports.
Let me say something before I forget it. But yeah, out of all that mess that happened in a very short period of time, and of course Locke found out that apparently, I'm not going to mention the name, but whatever, she did. She admitted it. She was on a panel. She told him that she had, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to
Right,
ruin anybody, his channel, whatever. But she admitted to it, and she honestly didn't understand. It wasn't her being malicious. That's what people don't understand. She's not being malicious.
right,
She absolutely did not know that it was not right. And
right,
and that's why, yes, I did unsub from her, and for a little bit I did. I didn't want nothing to do. But then she messaged me one day and on Instagram, and she said, I honestly did not know. In a long conversation, I'm not going to share it. It's nobody else's business, but I just, we're peaceful. I think that I just keep it that way. She visits my channel on occasion. Um, on her
right,
birthday, I think I went over there, wished her happy birthday. I think I popped in another time to say hi. That's the way it should be. And she's also, believe it or not, the last couple of times I've been in there, her channel, she's changed a lot around. She don't do a lot of the stuff she used to do before because she realized, oh, I didn't, that was wrong. I don't want to do that again. So people
right,
got to give her some credit. Nobody's perfect, and different people live in different parts of the world. There's different cultures. Some people just don't get it. Some people are behind, the times or ahead of the times, if you will. And that's the problem I see with a lot of people on YouTube is that they're stuck in their own bubble, and they don't want to understand that, hey, this culture is different in this country, and this culture is different in our own country, etc., etc., etc. But you have a bunch of young ones that don't give a shit, and they just don't care, and they just, I can go on and on. That's just
right, right. Yeah, and that's the other thing.
oh,
Like
hey there.
people
Sorry, you
look
have
at.
another Casey. You
Go
might
ahead.
want to look at your chat. Scammerin fake. Oh gosh, it's a okay. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
hi.
yeah, yeah. I said
Sorry.
hello. I
Okay, my bad.
I I highlighted the comment. I thought it was funny. I thought the name was funny more than anything. But
Yeah.
um, like people look at my channel and they may sit here and whisper and go, "Oh, he's not being very successful with his channel. He's only got 191 subs. He's only got, you know, like I've only got like
Yeah.
515 watch hours." But some of these other channels that I go to, they're like, "Dude, you've only been here for 2 months. You're already at 191
Mm-hmm.
subs and 515 hours. Like
Yeah.
you're not doing bad at
I was
all." Um,
I was gonna say you're
so
not doing bad. If you got 515 watch hours already, that's pretty darn good. But remember, if you, like I was talking today, I may demonetize. I don't know. I'm thinking of ideas because of all that's going on. So I may start another channel just for something else, like whatever, panels, bullshit, whatever. I don't know,
right,
and or may demonetize this. I don't know yet, but I do want to go to Rumble, but I need to figure out how to navigate it more. But
Right.
then again, as we were talking, as we were going over whatevers, I was like, you know what? What's the use? I might as well just keep the channel monetized, And just so everybody knows, I've received zero checks from YouTube, so everybody knows that. Okay, the only money I've gotten that's came to me personally is my donations, because you have to make a certain amount before you get paid. I have not reached that yet. That just goes to show you that people think that YouTubers make all this money. No, unless you're really
Yeah. Right.
networking it hard, like Alex and even Thaw or whoever, fill in the blank. Unless you're doing what they're doing and have that following and et cetera and so on, you're not going to make a lot of money on YouTube. And that wasn't the whole idea, anyways. The whole idea is to catch
Right.
pedos and put up stuff I want to put up as well. And I look at it this way, you and I realize real quick how expensive it is to do this or to catch preds.
Right.
And I was like,
Right.
that's when I monetized it. But I don't know what's going to happen. So with this platform and other platforms, I don't know which direction it's going to go. So I really, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to build all my networks because we got to have a backup somewhere. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I'm
And
learning.
that's
We're
what I
all
was gonna
learning.
say is like I ran in where I ran into Apple Snapple at, and there was one in here earlier also that Sleazy. I ran into them in that room as well. They asked, they were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Your KHLC Internet Radio Network. Do you have an actual internet radio network like link that you can drop?" And I said, "Well, right now YouTube is it. I'm using YouTube to build it because those other platforms that I could use cost money.
Mm-hmm.
While they could make me money and make me some good money, they cost like if I wanted to start an internet radio station that had full music, like I could play anything from Blake Shelton to ZZ Top if I wanted to, um,
Yeah.
and do my sports broadcasting and do my talk radio and do any other shows that I wanted to do on there, news, politics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To do that and have their ad share like what YouTube would do with monetizing you at 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours,
Mm-hmm.
they charge you like say 70, it might be $39 a month, but you only
Mm-hmm.
get like 5 gigabytes of hard drive space to upload your music.
Oh.
So then you can only maybe have 100 songs that rotate on your station. Well,
Wow. Okay.
if you pay 59, you might get 10 gigabytes, and that might equal 250 songs.
Yeah.
And then you might pay $79 a month, and that's where you
Yeah.
get like maybe unlimited, so you can have like maybe up to 500 or 1,000 songs at a time in your library, and then you can just change
Yeah.
out songs as they get too old. You can change them out with new stuff and go back and add them back in later, whatever. Like it gives you full
Yeah.
customization to run it as if you were running a real radio
Yeah.
station, and they
Yeah.
take care
John
of all
B.
your
You're up.
licensing.
Yeah. John B. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Airtime is expensive. That's for sure. Go ahead, Casey.
Exactly. But I mean, it gives you like full customization. Like I can do radio shows. I could have different DJs who could go in and log in and run a radio show from somewhere else if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to have the amount of music I think it would take to keep it interesting and keep people interested in it, along with everything else I'm doing, I would literally have to pay like $79 a month. There's no
Mm-hmm.
guarantee I'm going to get enough listening time out of my listeners that it's going to make me $79 a month
Yeah.
to start with. So
Well,
I
see,
might be
also,
hemorrhaging money to begin.
yeah, just so everybody's clear, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. If you want to speak, whatever. There's this whole YouTube thing. People take it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm older, so I probably don't get it when it comes to some of the younger generations or whatever. Fill in the blank. I don't know. To me, YouTube is just like a phone that you can video call somebody. It's just you can happen to do it to a lot of people. You could like exposing a pred, if you will. It's and some people think, oh, because they're on YouTube they're rich or they're famous or they're this or they're that. No way, shape, or form is that true. I mean, unless you're what, Logan Paul, the big whatevers. I don't know who, I don't even
Right,
know their name
right,
except for
right.
Logan and his
And that's
brother,
and that's
because
what
they're
I'm
box
saying.
now.
Like,
People
right.
have this
And
narrative, they
this
have
and
this
then
idea. It's like, my gosh. Yeah.
yep. And I'm not even like I'm using the YouTube to, and that's what I told them in this other channel. Like right now it's YouTube because I'm using YouTube to build the content. Once I have
Yeah.
enough content onto my YouTube that I can then take that audio and put it over onto my internet radio station to play a few times, like maybe once a week, and just play on a
Hmm.
repeat throughout the day when I'm not live for the talk
Yeah.
segments or whatever, however I figure that out, then I will. But right now, I don't even, I have 2 radio shows I'm doing. One of them we're not even doing live, it's pre recorded. I only have one
Hmm.
live show I'm doing. Like, I can't go and pay $79 a month and only do one live show and
Yeah.
expect to make
That's,
$79 a month. That's just, I don't know what their ad revenue generation is like, but usually it's cost per thousand or cost per million.
yeah.
So you get paid depending on how many million or how many thousand views you get. And it's like 10 cents
Yeah.
for every 1,000 views or some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, it's,
It's
as
usually not a lot.
yeah, as you already know, but for whoever's listening or will listen, because we know each other well, obviously, like in real life, where things
Right?
are actually normal. Things are actually normal with our families, unlike some of you would like to believe. Anywho, um, I never looked at YouTube in any way, shape, or form. Oh, I'm going to do it as a job. That was not anything in my mind at all. It was just about catching predators. When I finally decided to do that, but we realized we said this before, but we realized by catch number 2 or 3, it wasn't too long, that hey, this costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of time. Literally, if you miss a day work, like if you say you miss a couple blocks to decoy, we're losing money. And that's where I was like, you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
Maybe I should monetize the damn thing. And then, of course, as you know, almost was a day or two after I was approved for monetization, they want me to get members started. I'm like, members? I'm not a full time catcher. But I was like, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to hook it up because I don't know how to do it. My brother's here, he does. So I probably put it up there
Right.
just so it's there. So when I decide to launch it, or people can still use it, I'm sure. But I do have a lot of hidden content. I have all those unedited lives, the catches, and some other stuff that nobody's seen or whatever. So
Right.
yeah, I'm not going to promote it at all until I'm ready to, if I decide to. But at least it'll be available. I'll get a couple emojis and little whatevers. I'll probably do 99 cents, or what I mean. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Just something to get it started. I don't even know how it works yet, so I'll figure it out when the time comes. But again, I just
Right.
want it all done and over with, so I don't have to worry about it in the future when I decide, hey, look, we got a lot more content. Or if another thing too is in January, I believe mid-January, we have to accept another monetized channels have to accept another agreement because of the shorts. But a
Right.
lot of people already have them now with the thanks button, or with they can it's like a super chat, but it's on a short. So they're adding that, and we
Right.
have to accept that uh, on the contract or whatever it's called, the YouTube Share program. So,
Right.
to the best of my knowledge, those are the last 2 things I believe that I have to do. Is those 2 that I think I'm done. I hope, but
Yeah.
getting
It's funny you
monetized
said
is
something
not as
about
easy as people think it
shorts.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny you said something about shorts because I was in some of these other channels, and they're going over and they're they're clicking my page because some of them are giving me a rent so I can drop my link, or they're dropping my link for me, and people are going
Mm-hmm.
in checking out my page. Well, one of them comes back and they're like, Casey, you have to do some shorts or do some shorter videos because nobody wants to go to your channel for the first time and watch an hour long or an hour and a half
Yeah.
long stream. And I said, I understand that. I said, but nothing that I do is short. I
Yeah.
am internet radio. Nothing in
Yeah.
radio is short.
No, but here's
Like,
what you do, Casey, just so you know, and I know what to do as far as like how it, how do I explain this? I know it needs to be done. I just don't know how to do it. But a long story
right.
short here would be you take one of your internet radio things, and if since you know how to do some editing or whatever, you just take some highlights and put it into a short, and then you post
Yeah.
it. And you could do several of those, obviously.
It's Yeah, but I mean, you don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could mess with it, and I might. But I mean, I was just like, they were like, do shorter. They weren't even telling me to do shorts necessarily. They were doing it saying, do shorter videos, and I'm like, my videos aren't short. What I do
Yeah.
is talk radio. It's gonna go at
Mm-hmm.
least an hour. No, just to go. You go over and you click my channel and you hit subscribe and you go to one of my videos and you watch it for 4 minutes and you hit a like and you hit a comment. That's your subscription sticks. You don't have to watch the full hour, hour and a half. Like
Yeah.
my average watch time in my analytics is like 10 minutes anyway. So
Yeah.
I doubt anybody really watches except for me. I doubt anybody really watches the full thing. Like my
Well,
last few
actually,
podcasts have gotten like
yeah.
10 and 12 views, and that's it.
Well, yeah, yeah. Just so
In
you,
like
and you
three
know, I do.
hours.
Yeah, and you know, I do this. I usually, obviously, go in, thumbs up, make a comment or two, but usually because of always something going on. It's always on. I'm listening, but I'm not necessarily looking, and there's not much to look at, anyways. There's not, you know what I mean. It's not like a video. It's a podcast. So I'll be listening, not even
Right.
chat at all sometimes, or maybe you'll see me come in like halfway through and say something else or whatever. But sometimes I just,
Right.
I'll listen. Sometimes I can't. It's just what it is. But I'll at least go over and give it a thumb
Right.
up and,
Yeah.
something. But I
Right.
try to help as
Right.
much as
And I
I can.
mean, really the only thing, I mean, when the main thing of putting the podcast even on the A7FL podcast on my channel is because YouTube allows you to put like the description, and in the description I have 5,000 characters, so I can also drop the links to Spotify and Apple. And Spotify and
Yeah.
Apple is absolutely where everybody should be going and listening to my podcast. It drops
Yeah.
usually sometime on Thursdays on Apple and on Spotify. The only reason I do it the following Monday on my YouTube channel is to direct traffic to Apple and Spotify, and so people can actually sit there, hear it, and ask questions live if they have any. Like you hear something going on in conversation, you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute! So what is this about?" If there's more details
Yeah.
about what that is that I can give and I know, then I can sit there because I monitor it. So I can sit there and I can answer your question, and it gives you a chance to do a live review of it. But more or less, it's just to drive traffic over to Apple and over to Spotify. And actually, I've heard like we're starting to get really big numbers over on Apple and
Hmm.
Spotify. It's
It's
actually starting
weird.
to take off over there, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's weird as Raptor, you went live tonight with it when I was getting set up and everything on my desk. I saw A7FL, the other YouTube, the big YouTube channel, went
Right.
either live or premiered something. I thought that was kind
Oh
of
yeah,
ironic.
they do a A7FL rewind. It's a review of a game from last season. And
Oh,
you
okay.
don't get, and this is the downfall to that. The whole reason we started, and here's my chance to kind of promote myself, I guess, for a minute. The whole reason we started the A7FLs, the other side of the ball, which I don't even
Hmm.
like calling A7FLs the other side of the ball. Everybody knows that's an A7FL podcast. The whole reason we
Yeah.
started the other side of the ball was because on the East Coast, where this A7FL started, it started as Town Beef and then developed into what is now A7FL.
Oh,
They
so all
started
right,
a
hold on.
podcast.
Let me get this right. So it started almost like say Alex and we'll have a boxing match with another YouTuber to squash the beef or to pedal it out. It kind of, but it was more like they did it through football. You mean right?
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much what it started out with, honestly, was the way the beginnings of it was broke down is they called it Town Beef. And what it was is it started
Oh,
in New Jersey in that area.
okay.
And what it would be is these different towns from New Jersey would put together a football team and they would go unsanctioned and play football games at a park and beat the living dog shit out of each other is the way they put it.
Jeez,
Like
that's
literally
oh sorry.
like
Yeah,
body slamming people to the ground, just effing people up is what they said. And cops coming out and shutting the game down, so they'd have to travel to another town 20 minutes away to finish the
yeah,
game and hope they didn't
yeah,
get kicked off of that park or off of that football field.
yeah.
Like
Hold on
they
one
didn't have
second.
any
I don't mean.
permissions. They didn't have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt. No, it's just I'm not going to say who or what, but it just maybe I shouldn't say anything at all. It's just I hate it when like we're in the middle of something right now and somebody has to tag me in something. It's like I don't even know what I don't even know what this is yet. It's like, can I just
Oh,
have a life for a little
jeez.
bit?
But I mean, like it started. That's how it started. Was these they would put together teams. They'd meet at this park or at this football field. They'd start playing games. Cops would catch wind of it, come and shut them down. They'd have to move 20 minutes, 30 minutes to another town, to another park with the same teams and finish the game. Now it's become the A7FL or the A7FL. Um, Started with the New Jersey division, the
Yeah.
Baltimore division, several different
Uh,
divisions, but it
yeah.
started on the East Coast.
Yeah. I have to ask you something.
They Go
Casey,
ahead.
can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I'm not gonna say where, who, what, but anyways, so I got this notification from a friend, and I clicked on it, and I apparently I had to answer one of the questions, and obviously I'm like, oh, I've never done this before, I don't know what it is, and then it just timed out. So apparently, does that mean I can't do it again? I don't understand why people send me these things where you can only watch for a certain period of time. It makes no sense to me. It's in a DM. It's in Instagram. Hold on. Let me. I don't understand. Hold on, let me try this again.
I have no
It
clue.
wants me.
But
It
I mean,
makes no sense to me.
anyway, so the A7FL, they started since they started on the East Coast. The East Coast started a podcast called the 3-on-1 Podcast. They were talking only about the East Coast, only about Baltimore, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, because I think they had a league for a little bit. DC had a league, Maryland. Then now Florida's kind of got a league or a division, we should say divisions. And now they've expanded out to the West Coast, and LA's got a division, and Nevada's got a division. Las Vegas has got a division. Reno is getting a division and starting a division with 4
Yeah.
teams. But that 3-on-1 podcast was not talking about the West Coast at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, you know what? We were the ones, really, honestly, when it's broken down and laid out, the ones who came up with the idea to do an A7FL podcast, period, was myself and Derek
Mm-hmm.
Duncan.
Yeah.
And then when they came up with the podcast and did it first, like they knew we were thinking about it. They decided to go ahead and do it first because they had all the stuff together already to do it. Okay, then they started doing it, and they weren't even talking about us. So we
Oh
went, you
wow.
know what? Fuck this shit. We're gonna
Yeah.
start our own damn podcast. So we
Yeah.
started the other side of the ball. And now we talk about the West Coast and we talk shit on the East Coast, and the East Coast talks shit on the West Coast. And now we've had several of our clips from games last season on ESPN.
Hmm.
Um, so we're getting eyes on the league. Um, we're getting eyes, ears on the league. We're getting people who you would never really think would get involved with this to get involved with this. Like,
Hmm.
okay, um, Buffalo is connected to one of the leagues, um,
Yeah.
or to one of the divisions.
Hmm.
The division owner, I believe, the division owner for New Jersey is DeAndre Hopkins of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. It's pretty
Buffalo
cool.
Bills, defensive end, defensive linebacker, whatever he is. Like he he is the owner of the
Hmm.
division in New Jersey, an NFL player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and there's those types of connections all over the league. And where I
Yeah.
was going with this earlier, where I was saying people may not think that um, my channel is going anywhere or that I'm going anywhere. If that's what you think and that's what you believe, all I'm going to
Hmm.
say is go to Apple, go to Spotify if you want to listen to the podcast. If you don't have time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Monday, it'll be on my channel, on my YouTube, right here.
Hmm.
Listen to the podcast because there's some tidbits of information that get dropped that, let's just say there's some big news coming and some big possibilities on the horizon. Um, and
Yeah.
so you listen to that and you'll get the tidbits and hints dropped, and it'll make you wonder and it'll keep you curious. And if you keep coming back, I think we are taking off next week, this coming week, because of
Hmm.
Thanksgiving. Um,
Yeah.
like we
Oh.
just did the podcast last night or 2 nights ago.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we're doing one next Wednesday because of
Hey.
Thanksgiving, but I'm
Hey.
not sure yet.
I'm. I'm. I'm gonna be careful how I say this, obviously. So don't think I'm, saying that. Don't freak out. I'm not gonna say, whatever. Um, what we discussed, I believe, was it last night you came over? Yeah, last night. About a
Oh,
certain person that wasn't feeling
yeah,
very good. Did you hear any more about
yeah.
that, or yeah.
They sent that person home.
Is that a good thing, or
So,
yeah, I mean, if you want to
they
wait, I understand,
yeah,
but
no, they sent the person that we were concerned about home and set them a appointment with a stomach specialist. So,
okay, all right,
as far
cool.
as we know, that person has not been back to the hospital or had any more issues. So,
Good. So answered prayer. I
well,
take it.
yeah, that's how we're taking
Cool.
it right now. Um, and of course, he can't come join in on my fuckery. He has to create his own.
Who?
Damn him, locksmith.
Oh, he went
2 minutes
live.
ago. Yeah, he just went live 2 minutes
Oh,
ago. Late
oh, it's
night with lock and
Friday.
key. Link to
Lock
join.
and key.
Yeah, it's Friday.
His cat.
Yeah, yeah,
If
his
he
cat.
just
Yeah,
started,
it's
I don't think I'll be visiting there. It's just too. I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back, so I sleep at
right,
night.
right,
I'm trying.
right.
It doesn't always work, but I'm trying. But yeah, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to,
Right.
call it and go over there. I did
I'm
drop
still gonna hang
the
out
new.
here.
Yeah, that's cool. I just want to let you know I did drop the new, which I thought was a troll. I did not. They didn't even know who we were, which she was kind of shocked about. But that actually is a new pred catching team right here in Albuquerque, and we are going to be collabing a lot to the point where who knows? But yeah, that is a new pred catching team. We got them to 77 subs today. So if we can, or 70 something, if we can get
Right.
them more, we'd appreciate it because not only will their team go live, we'll both be going live for the next few catches. So
Right.
yeah,
But I mean,
but,
and what I was saying earlier, like when I put that podcast on my channel, like I kind of wanted it to do something. But
mm-hmm.
like literally my last 2 or 3 podcasts, if you go in and look at what they've had in like the last 3 weeks, like 3 weeks ago, that one is at like 20 views, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Last week's is at, or 2 weeks ago is at like 18 views. And then the
Yeah.
last one that I did on Monday is at like 12. Okay. When I go
Oh.
in and look at my analytics, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those look like, okay, you go, okay, 12 views.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching the full thing. That's 12, 13, 14 hours of watch time because those are hour to 2 hour podcasts. Okay. When I go in and look at my analytics for my videos and what gets watched and how many watch hours I get, those are getting like 12 views and 2.6 watch hours or
Wait.
3.5 watch hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So they're really not getting, even though 12 people are watching, they're literally only watching for like 20, 30 minutes each, 15 minutes each. Like they're not watching the whole damn podcast. They're not listening to the whole thing. They're getting the
Yeah.
exciting part. And a lot of that, honestly, is thanks to
Yeah.
Seven. Seven comes in there
Mm-hmm.
and he'll come in there and he'll listen and he'll
Oh
throw a
yeah.
few tidbits in and throw a few fire symbols up and like, but,
I do too once
and
in a
he'll
while.
listen for
Whenever I
30 or
can.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll
You might
listen for
want to
30 or 40 minutes, but that's it.
Casey. I gotta stop. I do. I know it's hard to do sometimes, but you don't have a lot. But John B is trying to tell you something. I don't know if you're paying attention to chat or not, but you might want to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And he's got a point. I was waiting for it to pop up on my side of the screen. For some reason, my StreamYard is running a little slow, and those comments aren't coming through right away. Like you're seeing them and saying, "Hey, so and so," and then 3 seconds later, I see it come through.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
No, it's true. Let me finish. It's YouTube because last night and even today, I went on a few streams for short periods of time, and sometimes the chat will just freeze. I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't seen any movement in the chat, and I'll look over. Well, let's see how many's watching. Well, it says 40 or 90. Fill in the blank.
right.
And they're sitting there saying hi to people I've never even seen. I'm like, I don't understand. And I refresh it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it just wasn't moving. It froze. Or there would be people I literally could not see until I clicked from top chat to live chat and then refresh it like 5 times. And then finally I saw their comment. And then here's another thing that happened. This is very weird. I was literally on another channel, and there's a couple people I met in there that were really cool. Have a lot in common. So I said, you guys have channel like content. And because what they were talking about sounded very interesting. They said, well, yeah, that's what our channel's about. I said, awesome. I went over there and I watched one of their shorts. They told me which one to watch first. And so I hit a like and I made a comment and I pressed enter. The comment went into one of my videos on my channel. I don't know how that happened. The comment, the comment I typed in their short video went to a comment under my car fire video.
What?
And it kept doing that. I couldn't comment on anybody's videos. Yeah, I had to keep erasing it.
Talk about glitch switcher.
Yeah, there you go. I should have told that to B-Sox today. Yeah,
Right.
John B, I'm sure you remember the good old days when Locksmith was the stream that I went up to announce that I wanted to become a catcher. A year ago this month, I believe, or next month, but it was after Thanksgiving. Right. I do remember that much. And yeah, back in the day before he, quit the first time, and even maybe the first month he was back, for the most part, those were the good old days. We were all having fun. You know, of
Yeah,
course
hell,
we
even
had
when
our
I first started hanging out in there, they were having
yeah.
fun in there and shit, and like, I mean, hell, now that's kind of why I've started a little more to go back in there sometimes and get, depending on who's
Mm-hmm.
on the panel. Like if it's certain people are on
Yeah.
the panel, I will not get up there. But
Same
when
here.
there's like,
Yeah.
if Constantine's on the panel and
Oh
Ed's on the
yeah.
panel, and there's a few
Yeah.
other people that are goofy and funny that you can shoot the shit with and
Yeah.
talk shit with, but at the end of the day, you know that it's just trolling and just talking shit.
Yeah.
Then I'll get up there and I'll have some fun. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
I
later, like I'll go
I'll
and
just
check
be
them out
honest with
later
you.
after I
And
do
then,
my
and
live. But
yeah, let me clear the air real quick. Is I want to make sure everybody knows I have nothing against Foxsmith and his channel. I'm
oh,
saying me personally, just not
right,
necessarily like to go to that channel all the time. And also, I'm trying to get back on a sleep schedule, trying. And then, second of all, or third of all, whatever you want to call it, you know, I'm not putting anybody down at all. I'm just saying for me, talking about myself, I'm 47. I know some of them are older than me. I get that. It's just I am too old and not as healthy as I used to be. I got a lot of, in case he knows, I got a lot of personal family stuff I'm dealing with. I don't need to go in there and play high school bullshit. End of story.
right,
And
right.
yeah,
And
somebody,
and
it's
and I'll
like,
go ahead. I'll go ahead and say this too. Like, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I know probably, and I may even be low on my estimate, but I would say at least 80 to 85% of what's going on. Just
yeah,
because I know that does not mean I'm going to go on the internet and say it just because you motherfuckers ask.
yeah,
Ask
I
me all
know.
day long. You know what? I'm going to say, go ask Jeff. If Jeff wants to talk about it, Jeff will talk about it.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
just, that's
I
how you are adult about things. That's,
exactly. When you get to a certain age, youngins, listen up now. Or for those who are older, just never grew up. Um, YouTube is not supposed to be your life. First of all, most
yeah,
people,
no.
if not, I'd say 99.9% of the people. I'm probably wrong, but whatever. Don't give a shit about you.
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
um,
Honestly, at the end of the
it's
day,
just
they
the
don't
way
give
it
a
is.
damn.
You could sit
Right.
there and show them a 25-pound diamond in their face, and they would still say you're lying, no matter how much proof you can show. And it's just because they want a reaction. They want the drama. They want to stir up shit. And that's what I realized. That's why I just don't go live anymore, really, hardly on my channel. I just don't, unless
Right. Right.
whatever, you know.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
like my YouTube channel is kind of a secondary channel. You want to know what I like to do and what my job is? Go over to A7FL Nevada on YouTube
yeah,
and
yeah.
watch all those games from the first season. That voice you hear calling them games play by play, that's me. And then that color commentator you hear helping me commentate, that's the division owner, Derek Duncan, also the co host of the A7FL's Other Side of the Ball podcast with me. Like, that's my
Oh,
job. That's my
I
life.
just
So,
exactly. I just thought of something like how you see. I understand because I've been to Oklahoma. I lived in Texas. You said the word your colored coach. Oh, he said colored. Oh my God, that's racist. Oh my God, no, it's not. It's like people will
no,
take
and
little things you
that had
say and twist it,
no,
turn it.
yeah, yeah, and exactly, and that was the thing that had nothing to do with color of skin at all. He
Yeah.
in broadcasting, he is the color commentator.
Hmm. I know. That's what I was
I'm the play
saying.
by play.
Somebody will
Yeah, yeah,
take that
exactly.
and twist it and say you're talking about a person,
Yep,
call them
yep,
colored. I mean,
yep.
they'll
Nope,
take whatever
no.
narrative they
I'm
want. Mm.
yep. I'm the play by play guy. I do the main announcing. He's the color commentary. He adds quote unquote color to the play that I describe.
Yeah, yeah.
I describe the play. He goes, "Oh, that was a nice, excellent one-handed 30-yard grab." Now you've got the color.
Hmm. Yep.
Like
I know.
But I mean, it's just a coincidence that he's African American mixed descent. Like that's
Yeah.
and he honestly he told me when I first did the game, like the first game I sat down, at first he was like, dude, I never saw myself doing this, but now that I've done it with you, I fucking love it.
Yeah. The
And I was
broadcasting or
like,
the podcast?
yeah, yeah. The broadcast, when we broadcasted the
Oh,
first game,
yeah.
he goes, honestly, I didn't think I would be into this and didn't see myself doing this, but now I can see why you chose this as a career. I fucking love it. And he
Yeah.
said alongside me the rest of the season that was not the intention. When we started the season,
Yeah.
he was only supposed to sit there the first game. He was
Mm-hmm.
not even supposed to be sitting beside me the second game. He was supposed to be there the first game, and then a player that had played previously or was not playing that day was going to come up and keep stats and do color
Mm-hmm.
commentary.
Yeah.
Well, the guy did stats the first game. The guy came up to do stats and the color commentary the second game, and Derek literally walked over to him and said, "Here's your pen, here's your paper. What I need you to do is keep stats. Me and Casey are calling the game."
Oh, wow.
And he went, "All right, sounds good. I thought I was call." He goes, "Nope, I've got this. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So like I
That's
mean it was
cool.
just, and then from there on we called every game that season together, and we got into a flow and a rhythm, and like but that's like he is, and I've told him this, like he'll go, well, it's a lot to do for you believing in yourself and being persistent and betting on yourself. I said, but I'll tell him over and over again in personal conversation, I'm like, no. Everything that is
Yeah.
happening, all these possibilities that are starting to pop up are because
Mm-hmm.
you bet on me. Not because I bet on
Yeah.
myself, because Derek Duncan bet on me. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have probably 90% of the opportunities I have with broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
just laying it out there honestly. Like he gave me the opportunity to do the A7FL Nevada, and now
Yeah.
there's more than likely going to be a move to Nevada for me, um,
Mm-hmm.
because he's got some ends that he's trying to work on with some housing. He's got like five or
Oh,
six different
good.
jobs out there ready to hire people with no experience. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's working on trying to get family housing
Now,
settled for
let me clear
temporary
this up before
uses.
somebody clip Casey, for your own sake. Let me just say something for somebody clips it and takes out of proportion. As far as experience, not talking about this is not your first job. He's been
No,
working
no.
since probably your teenage years, I'm sure, if not
Oh,
before. So,
easily. Yeah,
what he means by no
yeah,
experience needed is for these particular positions, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
he's got like two sales
Oh, I should have
positions
to
that are
say
ready
that,
to
but
hire people.
it's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But he's got people that this is for people if they want to go and play in the A7FL Nevada. He's got people with like there's like two or three different sales positions that are ready to hire with no experience in sales.
wow.
There's like a tech position ready to hire with
Hmm.
no experience in technology at all.
That's
And he's
good.
trying to get that type of stuff.
So
Right
it's
now,
like
it's available for individual
yeah.
players.
So it's kind of like an apprentice program, but a paid apprentice program,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's
100%
cool.
paid, and
Awesome.
and then like those that's how they're trying to somewhat attract new players to the A7FL Nevada, because they're like, well, look,
Mhm.
if you want to move here from Utah, we can put you
Yeah.
as an individual up in a temporary house for a season if we need to, and we
Hmm.
possibly can hook you up with one of five or six different jobs. So
Nice.
you'll have a job, you'll have a temporary house, you'll be able to get on your feet, play football,
Hmm.
and then move your family here as well. He's also trying
Yeah.
to get that to where he'll have a few houses available for
Hmm.
families, for like, so like if me and my family want to move out there but we don't quite have a place settled yet, we can just move into one of their
Yeah.
temporary houses for a month or two, get our
Hmm.
job settled, get on our feet a little bit, and then move into our own place. um
Yeah.
so some of those things actually I might end up with one of the jobs he has available, and I may end
Mm-hmm.
up in one of the housing because one of the
It,
jobs he
it,
has
yeah,
has
I gotta tell you
housing
something real quick.
available for their
Yeah,
employees.
I have to tell you something real quick. I have to mute between here and stepping out somewhere, and I'll unmute it.
Right,
So just let you so you continue talking. I'm listening. You just won't hear me respond.
right, right. But I mean, that's so, yeah, that's hi, trust no one. How are you? Not quite sure where I know you from. The name looks familiar, but yeah. So I guess Jeff had to step away for a minute, so he's muting, so he's not going to be responding. Um, and I forgot where I was going with my conversation. But I mean, yeah, that's basically the A7FL. One of the jobs they have available, one of the jobs that he has available, with the company. I'm not going to say what it's doing, but that company is offering housing that they have to employees if their employee gets certified in a certain thing. They get like 20% off or 30% off their housing. So instead of having to pay, the outrageous costs in Louisiana or in Nevada of, $500-$600 a week for say a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment, we would be paying like 380 a week if I got this job and got certified in a certain thing. I'd only be
Yeah.
paying like $380 a week, all bills paid for a 2 bed, 2 bath apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when you do the math on that, that's less than $1,600 a month, all bills paid,
Yep.
and it's a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment,
You just
and I
drove
think
by
the rate on it was like 379. Who was that?
the sheriff.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
I thought he was gonna stop and shoot the shit for a second. See what's going on. He's probably like, "How come you guys ain't been out of captions lately?"
Sorry, this one I didn't see, John, but I want to highlight that one.
Man, the wind is just killer out here.
Yep. And tonight, that's why I went live on my channel, was for that
Mm-hmm. I'll be right
quality
back. Yep.
conversation, light entertainment, and other BS. A little of the other BS, not drama so much, but just shenanigans, fuckery to say. Okay, that's probably right. That's probably right. Trust no one from Alex, because I have been over to Alex quite a bit. Not necessarily active, but I have been over there and have been watching. I've seen some of his stuff on Rumble as well. Um, it sounded like our door was opening. I was like, what the fuck? Who's trying to come into my apartment? Oh, but it was nobody. It was next door. So, oh. Anybody else want to come on panel? We are approaching the 2 hour mark. And the 2 hour mark, honestly, with 5 people in here, and it hasn't ever grown above 10,
Hey,
unless I
can you
get a
hear me?
quick jump to like, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, golly. Okay, so when the phone rotates, right? Da 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 da. So I'm walking
Right?
through
Yeah.
pitch black because I got family here out of state. One's on the couch. Blah blah. I couldn't get. So when I get in this room, I'm trying to turn it to get the tripod back up, etc., and so on, and it wouldn't. It wouldn't let. It just froze on me. So I tried to just
Oh,
at least,
geez.
unmute the mic so I could at least say, "Hey, I'm here." It's just I can't. But yeah, that's what I was dealing with. And finally undid it. So
Nice. But yeah, I was gonna say, unless I get a quick spike to like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people in here all of a sudden for some reason, probably about another 5 minutes is all I'll go. Because
yeah,
even if with it bouncing between 4 and 5, even if most of those watched for most of the time, that'll at least give me close to 10 more watch hours.
Mm-hmm.
And people will go in, of course, and watch later and
Yeah.
see that it was. They'll go in and they'll leave all kinds of comments because it's just me and you on a panel. So
Yeah.
I was actually kind of hoping some other people would come over, but I was trying to see where my other person was at that was supposed to go live tonight, if they've went live yet or not.
That's okay.
Because
The
I was going
last
to
live
show
I
their
did,
channel.
Casey, the last live I did, I
Yeah.
was supposed to have 4 people, and we all planned it together. I believe it was the last live. Anyways, one of the last previous lives I've done recently. Anyways, and I was like, well, where are, especially a certain person? We're starting this new thing, and da 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 da. And then he messaged me later on, says, "I'm so sorry." He goes, of course, you don't even have to apologize. Life happens. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Life
Right.
happens. So something came up at the
Yep.
last minute. It was important. It's like, yeah, there's no apologies needed at all. That's your family. You take care of your family. You don't worry about some stupid YouTube shit.
Right.
That's the last thing you should ever worry about. Family, if you're a believer, whoever, whatever. For me, it's God comes first. Everything comes after. Family comes right after that, and then, job.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, hey,
Oh, the
trust no one.
fuckery. Oh, the fuckery. Oh,
Wait,
damn.
what?
Locksmith's got fucking the bad guy and
Uh,
Sabby.
got a full panel.
No, not a full panel, but he's got bad guy, Sabby, and I can't tell. Malhombre,
It's probably Ray.
Jay Silly, and third tries the charm.
Who knows?
That's who their names
Probably
are
Red
on
Hood.
there.
I'm
Who
sure.
knows who they are?
Well, the ones that like to change their names a lot. I'm sure Red Hood, Ray. Who knows? They like to,
That's not English. He said to me, "You live in Arizona, right?
wait, is that Mike Saha?
To learn to speak Mexican, you live in Arizona."
No, it's Spanish.
I live in USA. I gotta learn English. That shit was hard enough, English. I ain't trying to learn something else.
Unless somebody just passing through YouTube and found his channel.
Like 3 months, man. Shit. Did you say? Then you woke up, bro. Listen, you don't even know, bro. You and Edward just do nothing but the gossip. The bad guy is okay, but I think he is whitewashed. And Sabrina, she thinks the girl is from the Latin girl. So that's the cultural appropriation, man. She studies the girls from nuestras chicas.
Hey, I know Ray had all the
Oh,
girls,
damn, this is good.
Ray had a fucking Guatemalan nanny for sure.
Yep, I guessed
Ray?
it right. Yeah, I told you it'd be Ray and Red Hood. I was right.
Oh my god! Look at him.
I think that's Red Hood.
Hey, my god! Look at him. Yo, big shout out to Ray.
Ray is Mal Hombre,
Yeah.
and Red Hood. I'm not sure yet.
I just met this guy not long ago, but I got a lot of respect for him. He reached out to me when all that shit happened.
I'll stop that. I don't want to get like struck or nothing, but I just thought that was some
I don't
pretty
think
funny
he
shit. I went in there
minds.
to see who was in there. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Damone
is that the
just
real
jumped on.
Damone?
Oh shit. Yeah, I know. That's
Is
what I'm
that the
saying.
real
Damone just jumped
Damone?
up there.
Oh wow.
First of all, no, the only guy who can do the tile is the Brazil guy. Mexican guys they only do the roof.
I'm not one of those hard-working Mexicans, bro. I'm the thief kind of Mexican.
You're like the black dude that can't dance, bro. Oh shit!
What does that even mean? Where's Cap? I know Cap.
It means that you said you're a Mexican that doesn't work hard. It's like you don't even get like the cool stereotypes that come with your people.
No. I'm the Mexican guy that like fucking steals your car.
That's like a black dude that like can't dance. Like if he's the only black dude in a white school, and then they turn on like some trap music, and everyone just looks at him, and he starts doing the Carlton two-step. It's like It's twice as bad, right?
And when the copper.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, John B. Never really cared for Red Hood.
I did notice. I will give him this credit that I've noticed he's at least making attempts to grow up lately. I noticed, and I'm seeing that. I'm
Yeah, he
actually
has.
genuinely being nice about that. I'm not putting him down in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'm starting to notice he's starting to relax a little bit. He's trying to, he's young. What is he? He's college, so he's got to be probably. I don't know. 20 something. I don't know. Early 20s. I don't know.
Okay, they're talking about Ryan now.
Oh gosh. Why can't they just have a normal conversation? Like
Right.
talk about
Well, because
things.
they were talking about Ryan went live earlier and was saying that he's hit a bump in the road and he's not going to be doing because of his medical condition and he can't drive and blah 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 blah.
Well, it doesn't mean he's going to stop. It's just like they said, he's
Yeah.
hitting a bump in the road, just like I'm in a bump in the road. And if it wasn't for the few things that happened just today, actually, it would be. I mean, it looks like we may have a catch or two or three in a few days. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything other than that because I don't know. We can't predict the future, but that's what it's looking like. It looks like a nice collab with a few groups. So the way it's looking pretty damn good right now. But that's all I can say because nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
Nothing. Even up to the point of contact. And I'm not talking about physical contact. I'm talking about when you walk up to the pred, it's like you don't want to put like the last one. I didn't want to put the camera up until we knew for sure. And by the time we knew for sure, and as my camera was going up, he already turned around and started walking. It's like, damn it. And then he took off running. But there's nothing we could do about that because what if it wasn't him? It's live. You don't want to put the camera on the wrong person. And yes, it's happened a lot. I'm not mentioning any names because everybody knows it's happened to a lot of the big catchers. Everybody knows it's happened. It happens. I don't want it to happen.
And you don't want to be the one to make you don't want to be the one to make that mistake. Exactly.
Yeah, and no offense against anybody that's ever made that mistake because it is more difficult than what people think because looking at a cropped Photoshop, whatever you want to call it, filtered picture, and then that's usually 5 years ago or 10 of themselves, and you see them face to face, you're like, is that really that person? It's hard to tell sometimes. It really is. It's very difficult sometimes to tell.
Just to prove that point, okay, we had a pretty decent face pick to go off of Chris.
Yes, but he looked different in person a little bit.
Exactly. We even had what shorts he was wearing, what tank top he was wearing. Like
yes.
We had him when he rounded the corner. He came to us, like he walked right by me and came to you. When he came to you and I rounded the corner right behind him, we had him right there. And then when he realized we had him, he took off running.
Okay, because I remember I said Chris, he just kept walking in front of us. Chris, and you're like right there is with this picture on the decoy phone or what have you. Like, is this you? This is you. And I was looking and I was like, oh my gosh, it's got to be him. It's just that fear of I don't want to be wrong, because he sounded so sincere about running. Yes, but see, before if you notice and you remember, because you were right there, before we even knew or thought or he was going to run, the camera was on its way up, and I think he saw the camera coming up, the phone, on the whatever you call it, the whatever that thing goes on, the selfie stick thing, yeah. I think, and that's when he turned around. So when the camera finally came up where it could see what would be his face, it was the back of his freaking head. But what a lot of people don't understand, and I've said this so many times, it doesn't matter. Walmart's got all the footage. First of all, second of all, and yes, we did get there was one screenshot or two that yes, we did get enough of his face. It was very difficult to do, but yeah,
Right. Well,
3/4
the
of his
picture,
face, anyways.
because he had lollygagged around and taken so long to get in there, I had finally went over to the middle section of DVDs in Walmart. And I was looking at the DVDs while I had the phone against my stomach, and I was looking at his picture, looking peripheral, trying to watch to see if he came around that corner. I saw him come around that corner. I looked down, and when I went to look back at him, he was already walking by me. So I just turned around and followed him around that corner where I said I was going to be, and you were there. And I lifted that phone up, and you said, Chris, and I was like, this is him, right? And I was showing you that picture. And I was like, this is you, and he took off running.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
until
I don't care,
ran,
people. Yeah. People don't understand that we had help that actually tried to help us get him. This dude was like a ninja. He would disappear. He was extremely fast, and he was zigzagging around that store. If you, it's on some of the editing version, but remember the live version, everything's on there. Obviously, you can hear people yelling across the store, "He's over here!" and us yelling at each other, "He's in the garden center." And then and on the edited, which on your camera, I never saw that till it was edited, is you're in the garden center and you just see him go like flash, just fly by you.
Oh yeah, he flew right. Like I was in front of him and I saw him coming. And I went to turn to go with him, and as I turned to go with him, he was gone.
I know.
I was.
But a lot of people were saying that they were. I don't want to get into this too much, but some people were saying they were talking shit, saying Jeff thinks Casey's fast. I'm like, actually, he is fast. You were right on his ass, and then you walk outside, and when I come out, you're like dazed and confused, like he just disappeared, because you were right behind him almost. And I was, of course, and that dude was slick, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. Where I lost the chance to catch him, because honestly, in the heat of that moment, if I would have caught him, I probably would have tripped him with my feet. Just because. Fuck you, I'm chasing you. I'm going to trip you up, motherfucker, and you're
we can't
talk.
But of course we
can't.
I'm
just saying, in the heat of the moment, though, I probably would have
put
a foot out or figured something out to try to stop him up. If I wouldn't have went around that one corner, as I went around that one corner to start running and slipped and fell, I probably would have caught him.
Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about that. You slipped and fell.
The only reason I even had a chance to catch back up to him was because he went to the garden center that was locked.
It's locked. That's that part I was talking about when camera. Is that where you fell? Is that where you fell?
I fell when I first went to chase him.
Wait, I don't remember. I mean, I remember you telling me, but I don't remember seeing it in person.
As I come out of the the entertainment electronics section and come toward that middle aisle and went to cut down. He cut down.
Yeah.
As I went to cut that corner to cut down that third aisle there, I slipped and I fell on my side and bounced right back up.
Damn.
The only reason I had a second chance to catch him was because he went to garden center that was locked. Does he not go to garden center where it's locked? He's gone and we don't ever have a chance to even see his face again.
Yeah. Well,
and then he ran into one of the Walmart employees coming out of garden center.
Wait, hold on. Physically ran into
Walmart? Yeah, he physically ran into one of the Walmart employees.
Dude,
as he was coming out of the garden center.
Forgive me if I don't remember you telling me this, but we could. Yeah, man, if I would have known that, that's assault. And that's actually battery, because they made physical contact.
And I told the lady that too. I said, "Dude, he just assaulted you. He ran into you. Call the cops."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they did. I'm sure they probably did something because.
Well, hey, there's something that I mentioned on one of my lives recently. I don't know if you were there or not, but I started thinking about this, and I think you and I discussed it once, maybe. But who's to say that? Because another thing I was thinking about: where's our cop that watches us? or the two that
Right.
kind of watch. Maybe, just maybe, he didn't get it. See, that's another thing we don't know.
Right. We don't always
Maybe,
know everything. Yeah.
yeah, maybe he pulled him over down the street. I don't know. We don't know.
We
Maybe
have
we'll
no
find
clue.
out. Yeah, the more we find, I mean, as soon as we find out things, I'm going to post it.
Right.
But until then, and there's certain things that we do know, we just can't share yet. So I can't post
Right.
it. So,
Right.
it is, is there something I can do? Something,
Right.
and
Well,
I'm
and
not,
it's just like this big thing that I've got possibly coming my way. Like I can't mention a whole lot about it. I can say that it's a major network and it's a major
mhm.
television network.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
about all I can say. There's a possible something happening with that, and that'll be
yeah,
discussed in the podcast
which we're not going
pretty
to talk
in
about yet.
depth.
Yeah, which will,
So
that will be announced in the next day or two when that's going to happen. The one we were talking about earlier when you were over
well, no,
here.
I'm
You
not.
know
I
what I'm
wasn't
talking
even
about.
talking about that podcast. I was talking about the podcast on my channel on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I
yeah,
thought maybe
yeah. Like,
if we decide, if it works out where we do that one thing, and if it happens to
yeah,
happen before then,
yeah,
maybe you could discuss a little bit, there. But
yeah. Maybe depending on where we're at on that whole deal. See, and that's the thing. Depending on how that deal goes, yeah, I might
mhm.
be able to join your podcast, but I may be able to mention nothing about the
Yeah.
A7FL, that podcast, or that company. Like they may say, look, that's now
Well,
property of us, so you're not going to go
well,
on your own
yeah.
private channel and do.
Well, hold on. If for some reason, which I don't think it's your freedom of speech, just so you know. If you're on your own YouTube channel, you can say it. You can say certain things. You know what I mean. But at least we can do is, obviously put your link in the description. You know what I'm saying? So people want to check it out, they can go check it out.
Well, right,
But
yeah, yeah,
we'll see how that goes because we're talking about it probably a little too much because it's not set in stone yet. So I
right,
understand that.
right,
Don't lose this
yeah,
video because they just clipped that one part. They're not going to hear the part where I said it's not set in stone yet. That's why it's not been
right,
publicly announced that it's going to be this day, this time with,
right.
whatever.
I
It's just
I
something
will I
we're
will say
working on.
I will say for the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast, there is a network in Las Vegas, television network in Las Vegas, looking to possibly carry the fall season.
Yeah,
If that
that's cool.
happens, that means I will be broadcasting the fall season, and so will my color commentator. Okay, we will be the
On
play-by-play
on
and the
on
analysis on that
on a
channel, on that station.
televised video, so they're clear, on a televised
Yeah.
video, not just a
Yep.
listening edited non-live thing. Yeah.
Just to give you an example, it'll be like watching Tony Romo do the play-by-play of the NFL game on Fox or on ESPN or on CBS. Like that's the equivalent. So
And
it'll
it
be
may
on
be
that
one of the,
type of. It may
yep.
be one of those.
I was going to say it might
But
be
it'll
one
be.
of those, but I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying,
Yeah. No, absolutely not. But tease it a little bit. It could be, but I mean that's the equivalent at least of where
Mhm.
it'll be on a television network.
And also,
And then because of where that's going, there's other things that that could develop from that as well. So
along with a very healthy financial career out of it, possibly too. So that'd be great.
yep, possibly. That's why I was saying there's
It,
some other things developing that possibly could come from that. And that's one,
yeah,
at
you
least
never
in
know.
my mind, that's one that I'm thinking about is like, what if they decide they like my talent of broadcasting enough that they offer me a job?
Hmm. And wait, and you even went to
So,
school for broadcast. Wait, was it you that told me that you
yep,
went? Well, you
I
went
went
to
to school
college
for
for broad,
broadcasting.
but now that you look back at it, it wasn't even really necessary or something. Or I forgot exactly. Um,
Not that it wasn't necessary, but yeah, a lot of what I'm doing I could have done without the schooling. But what the
mhm.
schooling did was gave me more insight and more one-on-one hands-on training. So,
Yeah,
which I think made me as talented as I am because I had talents, but they were very raw and unformed and unmorphed. And like I went through 3 years of junior college and then 9 years of a hands-on like trade school for broadcasting, where they actually went more one-on-one with us and worked on us with our voice and the way things need to sound for radio, and really worked on my talent and molded my talent into what I think it is. So
yeah.
while
Well, you got to start
schooling
somewhere.
wasn't necessary. Yeah, exactly. I had to start somewhere. So
Well,
while schooling wasn't necessary, schooling was the way I went.
well, you know how the entire, I believe, complete thing happened, which I didn't want to bring this up, but it's kind of an example, is when I started Bible school, and back then it still wasn't even online yet. It was books through the mail. Remember that started?
Right. Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't. But that was kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
And even before that, because I did some homeschooling in the late 80s, which didn't work out too well. But anyways, it is what it is. My folks tried. But that's all that happened is I got to a certain point where we knew enough that I got ordained, and this, that, and the third happened. And then, some other people said, well, let's do a theologian test, whatever they called it. And I passed it, and they said, we'd like to give you a certificate. And I'm not going to say what it is. You know what it is. It's the honor, it's a certificate.
Right.
That's all it is. It's saying, look, this is an honorary thing, and it's to show that he knows just as much as anybody who finished the last courses would, basically. I already knew, so it was like, here you go. Now, I should have finished the college to get my credits, but at the time,
Right.
I didn't understand. I thought, oh, well, I got this, why finish? And of course, I kept, it's just a certificate. It's just a certificate. Nobel Peace Prize, very different thing, obviously, but they don't. They give it to people who had done something and earned that. Some people got it and didn't earn it. I get that, but it's just an award. It's like YouTube. If you get, what is it, 100,000 subs, you get a plaque, even though we're supposed to pay for it, I heard. Yeah, whole other story there. And then you get to, it's the same thing. It's not like went to school to go to YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's an accomplishment. That's all it is. It's just an accomplishment. What's up, Freedom? Give me a Let's Go Blue Bombers.
Maybe if I had 100 people in here, I might, but I can't get my excitement level up for 4 people.
And we've already been going for almost 2.5 hours or so, 2:20, something like that.
Yeah, here I was saying another 5 minutes and we'll be done, and we went like another 25. But hey, it is what it is. Mark's having a party over in his room, it looks like.
Oh yeah, John. Oh, I forgot. John said something. Never cared much for. Oh yeah. Oh, I think you already touched on that. No, I think he's, like I said, I noticed he's been maturing little by little here and there lately, the last few months, give or take. But
all right.
Everybody's got their own personality, their own upbringing, and their own whatever. And sometimes me and Casey collab, or what do you, I can't even talk, I'm so tired.
Right.
We've clashed. I mean, everybody clashes on something.
Yeah.
There's always going to be, differences, and people, like, it's like, before I was on YouTube, just as a viewer, I had all these visions and narratives in my head, because you're seeing that, I didn't know they were troll. I didn't know what to think. I was just watching the catches or whatever it was, and maybe typing something here and there. That was about it. I might type maybe 5 times during an entire catch. It's just I was intrigued about the catch. I didn't really look at the comments a whole lot. But when I did, it confused me. I was like, so this person, because I remember when I it's hard to explain. I found Alex actually through PP Mass and Rami. That's how I found Alex the second time.
Right.
Okay, so everybody gets that clear. Well, you said you've been watching in 2019. I have, but give me a chance to speak here. So I'd seen him before in 2019, and I want to say maybe a little bit. I don't remember the exact year, but I think it was 2019, and that's when he wasn't really. They were doing Walmart catches. It was kind of funny, and I kind of just set it aside for a while because I found not Popsicle. I already found them. I found, I believe, I want to say it was PP Mass. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was PP Mass or PP Toronto. I don't remember, but it led me to these different people. Long story short, I found, which is where Ryan told me that was the catch where he went to school with that. It was, I believe, Rami's 100th catch. And it was Jay and Rami, and they were doing a Sting House. And that's back when Rami was PP New Jersey and Jay, Jay still PP Mass, and they collabed. And all of a sudden, Rami throws a fit. He goes live again. And this is after the Sting House, I believe. And he's throwing a fit about some guy named Alex. And the name was ringing a bell. Things were ringing a bell, but I just couldn't put two and two together. Because he wouldn't give people were begging, like, can you drop his links? Because he was live too, And Rami was throwing this big old fit, and everything. And then finally, somehow or another, somebody, a moderator or somebody dropped a link. And he erased it pretty quickly, but I clicked on it just in time. And I was like, I know who this dude is, but I don't remember like exactly where I know him from. And then I remembered. I was like, oh, Walmart catches. Okay, and then that's when things started because Rami was kind of good in a sense, especially starting out, he was actually not too bad. But it was after that is when he started going downhill,
Yeah.
Because, he was.
Yeah,
like
did you
I
hear
said,
he was supposedly, he was. I guess he's back now with a new channel. I didn't even realize.
A new channel? Is it if it's OBL.nation or OB.nation, it's still the same thing.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't know he had that channel until like a few days ago. Because that's
Well,
how
there's
I
actually
like Rami. I just
yeah. Well, let me tell you something though. There's actually another channel that makes fun of him. That, if I remember correctly, it's exactly the same name. Maybe there's a letter. Maybe there's a dot somewhere. I don't know. But I don't know how people. But the only reason I can tell a difference is obvious reasons. Is the sub count. One of them is pretty easy. I don't know if that other channel is still up. I'm banned in Rami's channel. I can't even type in there. So
well, I went in there one night and had fun with Halo
MCR.
With Halo MCR, and I went in there and trolled on Rami on OBL Nation, and that was kind of the first time I'd even heard that he had been back and had that channel. And I'm like, wait a minute, this douche is back. Okay, let's go have some fun. And I did, and now I can't comment in there or nothing.
Wait, hold on one second.
I don't know. I was
second.
in one of his lives, and he was asking people for gas for his electric car. So.
Yeah, 1 second, real quick, Casey. 1 second. Freedom Predator Catchers Alliance is his channel that got demonetized. It has 100 and some K. But you know what is weird? People can still get memberships, and then the other day, out of curiosity, I clicked that $sign again where you would normally give a super chat, and they added a super sticker. So I'm wondering if Freedom may be right, because maybe he did get that channel back monetized. I don't know. Or Freedom, I also did see a newer channel with the same name with like a few hundred subs. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But OBL or OB Nation he's monetized on that one. Of course, that's got I don't know how many. I know it's above 7,000, I believe,
Yeah.
subs. And then of course his original channel. Yeah, his original channel, which used to be PP New Jersey, now it was Predator Catchers Alliance. That's the big channel that got demonetized, but apparently maybe he got it back. I don't know. That's the channel he does his live feeds on. Yeah. That's true, but he keeps telling everybody to go to OB Nation or OBL or whatever. I mean, I don't know which one is which anymore. I honestly,
OBL Nation.
I just can't keep up with everything, especially, now that we're behind the camera. It's true. You just can't watch everything you wanted to watch before. It's impossible.
Right.
We're busy doing our own thing, our own lives, and then we got our own YouTube stuff we have to worry about and answer YouTube questions and do this and do that. And I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah.
I'm going to say they say one bad apple ruins it for everybody. And I believe in the Pred Catcher community, Rami was the one bad apple.
He was the first one that I believe he was the first one. But then again, it's so
got the YouTube
true that
snowball going,
Let me finish my sentence if I could, but no, I just forgot. What's I going to say now? Shit. Yeah, I believe he was the first. Oh yeah. When he made this whatever comeback it is, I don't know how many comebacks has he had now, because he literally just left. Like he said, I'm leaving. I'm going to be doing something else or whatever. And didn't do anything for like months or something. So now that he's back, I guess, just like even Alex said, he's like, I hope Rami comes back. I was like, you know what? I kind of do too, because those boring nights that I could not sleep and nothing's going on, and Rami says live catch right now, you got 6 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got 3 hours of sitting there decoying and then not getting a catch.
Yeah. And then you're going to see shit shows. You're going to see the comment section is going to go crazy. And then, the next day or give or take, there's going to be a bunch of videos about it. So there's going to be some kind of drama thing about it. So it's like, it's entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. It is. I guess he wrecked his electric car after he was soliciting donations for gas for it.
You mean his Tesla?
Yeah.
Again, he wrecked it, or is this back a couple months back?
No, he just fucked up the front driver's side of it or something, and he was trying to get people to give him donations to help him fix that too, like $500 or something like that to fix a dent in the corner panel or something. Like it crunched it in pretty good. It was either the driver's side or passenger side. Yeah, he had crashed it a few months ago and he got it fixed, and then just within the last week he did some damage to it, I guess, and he was trying to solicit people for fixing it, and people were making fun of him because not 3 days before that I guess he was joking, but he was saying, "Hey, donate to my Cash App so I can buy gas for my Tesla." And he was soliciting donations so that he could go and charge it.
I need to ask you a question real quick. So I'm at Predator Catchers Alliance. What I noticed right away is he don't even have I don't know if I like it, because people if they go to your channel, my lives are hidden. It just shows videos I publish, literally recorded and uploaded. In order for people to, and then it has popular to most, to the unpopular to, the most views or whatever it is. And then it's got live. So somebody said, you didn't post a video for almost 3 weeks or 3 weeks. I was like, yeah, I did. But if I didn't, who cares? It's my channel. I do what the hell I want. But anyways, yes, I have. I did 2 lives actually, or 3 technically.
Yep.
Birthday stream, and then there was the prize giveaway and just a regular requested stream, but it's under live. You have to click live instead of just having it. Once the live's over with, it would just add to your videos. It doesn't do that anymore. I don't know if I like that. But
Right.
anyways, with that being said, I am over here and he's still got members. He's not live on this channel. So I don't know if he quit or if he went to OB, whatever nation it is. Yeah, he just posted something actually, I think, on his community page. But yeah, it's weird because it still shows members. It doesn't have the live option, which is weird because I thought everybody had that.
Yeah.
Unless
WPG said it. He said someone hit his parked car. That's what it was. Somebody supposedly hit his parked car and did damage
oh, I'm not
to
over in your channels. I'm looking. So he must have stopped the live then.
it. So
Is that
that's what it was. It was a few
okay?
days ago, I guess. Somebody said
Wait, he said someone
somebody.
hit his parked
Yeah.
car. Bullshit. I bet you he's lying about that one. Well, I don't want to just accuse him, but it's just he does. He literally acts. He reminds me of a teenager. Like when you're a teenager, that's the way you acted, and not even that bad. Like
somebody hit his parked car, but he's going to solicit donations to help him fix it. Like, why don't you file that with their insurance, and their insurance will fix it?
Yeah. Well, that's probably. Well, it kind of makes me wonder if he is telling the truth again, because, like I said, why he's soliciting, like you said, he's soliciting donations. So he's probably thinking, if I say somebody hit my parked car, I'm the victim. They're going to give donations. That's probably why he's doing that.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. But the common sense in anybody goes, wait a minute, if somebody hit your parked car, why don't you file that with their insurance, and their insurance will fix it?
Yeah.
Why do we need to donate to fix that?
Yeah. You know, if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever directly asked anybody for that I can remember. I'm going by what I can remember. I've asked for a single donation.
That you've done it either. Nope.
I've said thank you for those. Yeah, I've said I think I mentioned where they're going to be, which is right on my wall. But yeah, other than that, I don't think we've ever asked for anything as far as a donation of money is concerned.
And here's the thing. Yeah, and here's my thing. Like, I'll never ask for a donation, even if I get monetized. I won't ask for a donation. Like, if somebody likes my content, likes what I'm doing that day, likes the video I post that day, and they want to donate, it's in my about on my page.
Yeah,
my Cash App is there. My PayPal's there. My Chime is there. Like, the ways to donate are there. If you feel like I deserve a little bit of your money because I did something, put on good content, and you enjoyed it and it made you laugh, or you thought it was informal and think I need a few, and you feel like you need to send it, then do so. But I'm never going to ask you to do it. I'm not going to say, hey man, I'm struggling. Could you donate $5 so I could go buy a coffee? Like,
yeah, I can't. I actually get a little embarrassed actually when somebody does a super chat or a Cash App or something. I feel like I'm almost feel like I don't know. It's almost like you didn't have to do that, but of course we appreciate it. Obviously, I mean we wouldn't have been able to got some of the things, even though it wasn't a lot, but we were able to get extras. These tripods we got that. You got your body cam thing, which did you ever try that out? By the way, on anything, like, did you check it out see?
I actually did. I took it to Phoenix and used it when I went to do an MMA event with my business partner out there. And I actually took the body cam in with me, and it was just on the alligator clip. I still don't have anything to like hold it on. So I just held it on the alligator clip, and I stood in front of the fighters and walked backwards as they walked towards the doctor that puts the Vaseline on their eyes so they don't get cut as easy, and checks them to make sure they don't have any sharp objects or any extra tape hanging that shouldn't be. And then they get in the ring. So I was like in the fighters' faces, and like if they were over there doing warm-ups, I was over in the warm-up area watching do warm-ups. Like, I was filming all kinds of different stuff. And it turned out pretty good. The only thing I didn't like Yeah, it turned out. Sound turned out good. The quality of videos turned out good. The only thing I didn't like is for whatever reason, and I need to go in and mess with the settings on it and probably figure it out. But like the video would be in color, and then like one video would be in color, and then like 5 minutes into it, it would go to black and white.
Oh,
Or
that's probably a setting
or you would get a
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was gonna say because there was also a time like a video would start in color, and then like 10 minutes into the video or 5 minutes into the video, it would go to black and white.
Wow,
So
that's
I'm not
kind of
quite
weird.
sure. I'm not quite.
Well, you know
sure.
what?
Like I said,
hold on. We'll get to
I'm gonna mess
John
with the
B's.
settings.
You got some comments here. We don't want to let him know. I'm reading
Yep.
them, John B. Any reason to beg for? Yeah, it's true. Rami will think of anything. And then the next one, I remember a few months back, John B says he was in the hospital. Yep, I remember that too. Begging
I
for.
remember that.
And then remember this? He goes, "Should I pull the plug? If I pull this plug, I'll die. Should I do it, guys?" It's like, who does that but a child? It's something a child would do.
Right.
And he's what, 27 or something of that nature, 28-ish years old, and he acts like a freaking child. Oh my! And then he goes after
to be
7. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I know there's a 17-year-old in there or two, and I've also heard there's a possible 16-year-old in there he was talking to. That's pretty weird. I mean,
kind of weird.
I like to say a lot more, as you know. We in private we say what we really want to say, which is we can't say on YouTube. Obviously, it's a lot worse than what we're saying right now.
From my understanding, that age gap isn't even legal in Florida, and in Florida there's like a 10-year gap or something where you can be 26 and be with a 16-year-old. Yeah, you can be like 26 with a 16-year-old, like in Florida.
That's disgusting.
Like
you
can be 26 with a 16-year-old or something like that, and get away with it. You can be 25 with a 15-year-old, like as long as it's within 10 years.
They can't
say anything or do anything.
Yeah,
I may be wrong on that, but it's like as long as they're 15 and you're not more than 10 years older than them.
That's California. They'd pass that sick law. Dream Floral told me about. Remember, I think we were on panel with him that one time when he said they had just passed that law in California, like a 10-year. I was like, it's just so sick.
This was a long time ago though that I heard about this. Like I was doing research on different things, and that came up, and I want to say it was Florida. It may not have been, but it was somewhere over on the East Coast. I want to say that was like. Yeah, you can be 26 and date a 16-year-old, and it's totally legal.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a couple things.
I mean, you can do that in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's that way.
Yeah, here's just. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I know I watched your story. They said if the age limit I think should be 21, and I thought about it for a few seconds. Like, okay, maybe it's a little high. But I was saying, okay, 19. Whatever.
Right.
I think it needs to be like with reciprocity, like they're trying to get, marijuana legalized across the board, across the entire country. Like with concealed carry, we've been trying to get reciprocity for that, it needs to be across the board. 18 or above. I think it should be higher, but that's just my opinion. But that's what it needs to be, period. But doesn't work out that way usually. Hey, I want to show you a couple of things I actually got at Walmart recently. They're limited edition stuff too, but check this out. So this is Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. It's a re-release, but it's got a replica back. It's a gatefold. This is all. It's like it's hollow there, like it's. I don't know how to explain it, but it's an actual window. The plastic is. And it's got a replica backstage pass from this tour from 75 from Led Zeppelin. So I found this, had to grab it because it's limited. And then I found Queen, the game on silver vinyl on a limited edition. With another one, Bites the Dust, and Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And, it was a good album. It's the vinyl. The only time I ever saw David Lee Roth, my wife and I, is the time that, yes, his security busted the door on our Tahoe. It's a true story. Fuck off if you don't believe me. Not you, Casey. You know what I'm talking about. The trolls. But this is
right.
the time we saw him was before he got back to Van. He was just Diamond Dave, and this was the album that we never got to own. We just saw him in concert. So I finally got that on vinyl, and I think I already showed you this one, the new Megadeth, and I've never seen it since. And again, on vinyl, they only had one, and it's the new album, The Gatefold. So
nice.
Got pretty damn lucky on that.
Yeah.
So
fuck yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, shit. We've been going 2 hours and 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing.
Yeah.
Get off here. I'm gonna grab my extra large chimichanga that I have in the fridge and munch down because I'm higher than fucking shit, and I need to eat and then go to bed.
Dude, before you check this out. Remember I told you I didn't know the marshmallow was going to be this strong, and so like I said, I believe it was last night. I went out and
that one, Jeff.
A couple years back, I got the Zeppelin Mothership. Oh, you got the box set. My cousin Jamie got that, dude. That's awesome. I missed that boat. It's worth a fortune now, too. I imagine if you're trying to find it now on eBay or Amazon or something, it probably costs a fortune. That's cool. But yeah, I went out. I took, like I said, I rolled myself probably a 1 grammer at least, a nice size one, and that's what I'm still toking on actually. Well, I almost smoked the half of it the first time, almost half of it, and 7-8 drags, whatever it was. Yeah, and I'm thinking, it's a little cheaper. I don't think it's top tier, but it's top shelf. It's right below top tier. So I'm thinking, okay, it's marshmallow. It's going to be mellow, kind of like Girl Scout cookies where you kind of get a little buzz and it kind of goes away. It just mellows you out, And I got a panel. I literally, you know those anti-vomit pills the doctor prescribed me for my stomach, right? I was literally it was starting to spin, and I had to go on. I said, look, I got to go off camera for a bit and lay down. And I had to put one of those pills underneath my tongue because I keep me from throwing up. It was that strong.
Oh yeah, that's why I said, oh no.
Yeah, that's why it's good. It's good stuff. Yes, and the weird thing about it is it feels like marshmallow. It smells like marshmallow. It's very dark on the outside, but when you open it up, it's white like a marshmallow. It's so weird how it's like the name fits it so perfect. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's what I've been toking on, and I'm freaking hungry, and getting tired. So, and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes into this damn thing, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end it. I think I got enough watch hours for tonight anyway.
We had a good time. I hope the few that came in here, had a decent time too, whatever, just shooting the shit and whatever. And we should, I was like, huh?
Go ahead.
Thanks for the good conversation. Oh, thank you, John B. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Appreciate that. We just shooting the breeze, and whoever wanted to come up could if they wanted to. It was just kind of a last minute thing. In fact, I wasn't even going to be able to make it, so I'm glad I was able to.
Right.
But
yeah, I may try to set something up one of these nights coming up. Do it again. See if we can't get more people in here.
Well, we do have that thing that we can't really talk about quite yet, but there is something in the works where we may be live for several reasons in the next few days, here and there. So that's all I can say, unfortunately. But yeah, I did put on my community page as much as I can say for now. But that collab, I hope it works, and I think it's going to be great. Yeah. So, alrighty, we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. I'll talk to you later.
Take care. All right, tell the fam I said hello and good. Oh, they're probably asleep now, but
Yeah, they're asleep. They're asleep.
but maybe
Alrighty.
tomorrow I'll give you a text or call. We'll figure out something, talk about some more plans and whatnot. So
Absolutely. Sounds good. Talk to you later,
good.
bud.
All right, take care. Bye, chat.
Later, chat. Bye, John. Later.